Why?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2023, the sports show starts now. Love! This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
We normally say football, but love is what today is all about because it is Valentine's Day, and we hope that you are celebrating appropriately with your loved ones.
Hell yeah.
Now, some people say Valentine's Day is a fake holiday made up by Hallmark so that people are forced to buy cards and other things. I think that that could be true, but it's also a beautiful day to show a little bit of effort. That's all your significant other is looking for. More specifically, the male to the female. Show a little bit of effort to say, you know what, on this February 14th, on this particular Tuesday, I love you. Thanks for everything. Shout out to my wife, obviously, because roses are red, violets are blue. And ever since she became preggers, she seems to toot. And everything she does is fantastic and magical. And today is just another day where I can say, hey, Sam, I love you. You're a badass. To all the significant others of everybody else in this particular office and company, thank you all so much for all your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice so that we can continue to do what we do. And happy Valentine's Day to all. Now, with that being said, today's a huge day.
Huge.
Okay. Super Bowl champions are joining us in the first hour. Orlando Brown, obviously left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, the man that put the tweet out that said 0 sacks, put it on a fucking t-shirt. He'll be joining us in about 5 minutes or so. Also, Brett Veach, the general manager, the person that put together the Kansas City Chiefs team, gave Patrick Mahomes that 10-year deal and has been able to manipulate the salary cap in a beautiful fashion that they have the 7th youngest team in the NFL. They just won a Super Bowl. Brett Veach, former football dog, will be joining us in about 26 minutes. And then, obviously, at 1:05 Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour ahead of time, Aaron Rodgers will be joining us. Now, Ian Rappaport reported that he was going into darkness yesterday. Our source told us that he wasn't going into the darkness until Thursday and that Aaron Rodgers Tuesday was on, which is why we are even having a show today. We were supposed to be off today all the way through this week and next week. Some of the boys already left for some of their trips. Some of us are still around. We cannot thank you enough for joining us. Joining me on the stage today at the Toxic Table, at Boston Connor, who looks amazing, and the 12-year NFL vet.
Mud.
Player coach, Super Bowl champion, in the trenches host, which we will be running today, ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, good to see you. AQ was half asleep for the last 3 hours, so we really thought he would suck for today's show.
I'm
Let's
back.
go is great news. Good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Hey, and obviously Ty is already on his trip. We appreciate Ty for everything he's done this year. This is not his fault at all. This show has been added because our guy Aaron is coming on one last time before he goes into darkness on Thursday. Excited to see where his head is at and see what he's thinking. And joining us now, sitting at the Hammer Dahn Cowboy desk, the only person in the Hammer Dahn program that has ever ridden a horse.
Whoa.
He said, you're calling all these guys cowboys. I'm the only fucker that's ever rode a horse. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitt.
Yeah. Attaboy, Mitt.
Got a baby Mitt.
Yep.
Woo!
Never let him forget.
Hey, you look real good, dude.
Natural.
Thank you. I love this hat, actually. I think I might give me some one.
Yeah, so that gets you some. Yeah, absolutely do that. That's Tone Diggs' cap that you just put on your head?
Yeah, it does not fit at all. It's pretty loose, but I look pretty good.
Tone's got a big dome.
He does.
Obviously has a bigger family now. It's growing. He's on his trip. We will miss Tone, and I will miss the boys. In the back, we got Zito running point back there for
Baby
Foxy.
Z.
And a baby ZD.
Baby
And then
Z.
Frank Moraldo's back there on the ones and twos. Bruce Brown is here, as is Bill. We can't thank everybody enough for allowing us to do this every single day. Last show before break, Connor.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, usually you think about this day, and it really does suck because it kind of signifies, hey,
we don't have football for another 205 days. And so we know now.
Is that how many days it
That's
is?
how many days there are. And now we know, too, at least we get to talk to Aaron. That's a very nice surprise because last year we had the Brock Lesnar on the Monday show where those, headphones were hanging from the Raptors. I still think they are, even though we're not in that building. But, yeah, it's nice. It's been a good season. Chiefs, it was a great Super Bowl, but it's a bummer. It's going to be
There's a little off-season sadness, too.
Absolutely. Every single year. Even yesterday. Like, it's awesome to react to the Super Bowl, but while you're watching it, it's like, oh, shit, okay. This is the last one. It's very bittersweet.
2 minutes left in that game.
Bingo.
Hey, there's 2 minutes left in the NFL season right
It's
now.
like, oh, fuck.
Wake up. What are we doing? Let's enjoy every single moment. And then the holding call happens. AQ Shipley, 12-year NFL vet, coach, and obviously player, Super Bowl champion. Haven't got your take on that yet. Can't make that call, right?
Can't make that call. You cannot make that call.
Got a lot of football purists telling us that we're wrong, though, for even saying, oh, you want these refs to make calls, but then you don't want them to make the calls? It's like, well, they didn't make the call all game.
That's the whole thing, right? Like, if that was called all game long, cool, make the call. But, like, I think that was the first defensive holding call.
All game.
All game.
Yes.
And there was a blatant pass interference they let Juju get away with early in the game, right? I forget who it was, but Juju got up, like, looking around.
Bradbury.
Bradbury. Mm-hmm. Same guy. But they didn't call that, so that just said right there, boom.
Boys are playing.
We're going today.
Yeah. I just think you're on the record of stating that. I'm on the record stating that. AJ's on the record stating that. Most people are on. TJ Lang, though, says we're all wrong.
That's right.
Listen, you got to call the rules the way they are. TJ, don't be a fucking mark, dude.
Come on, TJ.
TJ, you know it. TJ.
Classic Red Wings fan.
And Bradbury came out and said, I held him a little bit, but I thought they were going to let it ride because they had been letting it ride all the time. I think our biggest issue is that with the way the year has gone, with the officiating, that can't be how the fucking Super Bowl ends. 113 million average for the NFL. Peaked at like 130-something, I think. I don't know if that stat was given out yet. We just kind of made that up probably. But congrats to the NFL. 113 million people watching something is huge. That'll obviously catapult into a top 10 most watched program of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the highest rated Super Bowl in like 6 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. The NFL continues to be ratings king. They continue to do well. Halftime show, 119.
Hey, Rihanna was good.
That's Riri.
Mm-hmm. Rihanna was good.
Pregnant, too.
She's pregnant, yeah.
I know.
Pretty cool.
As somebody that'll never be pregnant, massive respect for the fact that Rihanna was able to perform at that height. Mm-hmm. With just how much is going, because I'm experiencing it with my wife now. You obviously have numerous babies, so you've gone through the pregnancy thing. It is wild.
Wild.
Pregnancy is absurd. The way the body is changing and moving, organs are getting pieced up here. Your stomach is lifting up over here. Yeah. This is moving over here. The potential of like getting tired very easily because things are sitting on your lungs.
Yep.
So her being able to do that concert while pregnant, massive respect. Thought we were gonna have a guest.
Definitely.
I think a lot of people did, right?
Yeah.
Jay-Z, I think everyone thought, right?
We are. Yeah, I say, who's going to run this town tonight?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if they didn't play any Kanye songs, it would have been like, okay, fine. They're steering away from that. But they did. And so instead of, just playing those songs, letting them go, why don't we bring out somebody like Paul McCartney as well?
Sir Paul McCartney was out there.
Yes, and they have a song together.
Anyways, let's move on to some breaking news for today before we get Orlando Brown on the horn. Shane Steichen is now the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. We got our guy.
Here you go, Shane-O.
I saw a video of him talking to the boys in a team meeting or the night before a game, and he had been taking over play calling duties, I think, since week 5 last year, and he did not get a lot of credit for that publicly. I did not know that literally until like yesterday when Ian Rappaport told us that. Everybody assumed, myself included, that Sirianni was the mastermind behind that offense. Steichen has been the guy that has taken Jalen Hurts from where he was to where he is and what that team was able to accomplish. Obviously, they were the first team in the history of the NFL to score 35 points in a Super Bowl and lose. Jalen throws for 300, runs for another 2 touchdowns. I mean, that offense, very efficient, very talented. And in a team meeting, I saw Shane Steichen say, it fucking starts tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So he says the word fuck. I love this guy.
Huge.
I love his energy. I love his resume. I love his success. And I love what we're going to do here in Indianapolis. It was plus 25,000 yesterday for the Colts to win the Super Bowl. It is now plus 20,000.
Massive.
I put a quick 500 on there so I can cash out $100,000 next Super Bowl when the Colts go on a run. AQ, how big of a difference is this, pal?
This is huge. I just hope that the offensive line that we saw a couple years ago is back. I think that's the biggest thing right now, right? Like we sat there and we watched this group that was extremely highly paid, right? And we were like, okay, this is going to be the group. This is going to be the group. And they weren't good this year.
No, they were bad.
They were bad.
They were a bad group.
So
One game was dead. Offensive line was dead. The offense seemed to be completely ineffective. Coach gets fired very early in the year. Jeff Saturday comes in. It was a clusterfuck in the Indianapolis Colts. They had the 5th best odds in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl last year. They ended up, now they're the 3rd worst odds in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. Good. It's amazing what 1 year can do. But now it seems like we got a guy who's a dog, and I love that.
Yeah, especially after talking to Darius Leonard, right? Because like that whole conversation kind of went like, hey, yeah, sometimes there would be a standard that some people would have, and then there'd be a different standard that, kind of the players thought they were operating at. And when you watch that Steichen little tidbit from the locker room, him talking to the offense, it seemed like he is hey, motherfucker, like, let's go and play. There's that 5 to 10 second, muted, where it's just like, oh, okay, this guy's just motherfucking people in there then, because that's the only reason they would mute it. So I think it's a massive win for the Colts. And then, with that 4th overall pick, hopefully you draft a quarterback that doesn't play with, cinder blocks his feet like Matt Ryan last year. And then, you have a guy for the future, though. I mean, you're not changing every single goddamn year to a new dude, new play caller, and all that shit.
Every mock draft, which means absolutely nothing, has us taking a quarterback at 4. I assume C.J. Stroud's going to be available. And if you look at C.J. Stroud and you look at what Jalen Hurts was able to accomplish with Strike, and you think to yourself, maybe there.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker, though, might be a good... You know what I mean? The Colts have a lot of positions that we need some help in.
Exactly.
Trade that 4, probably get a lot of pieces. You could potentially pick up Hendon Hooker, 6'4", who can run and throw, and maybe the 2nd round.
Yeah, and there's a team that your head coach just came from that has 2 first-round picks that, maybe you just swap that 4 for the 10 and the 30 with the Eagles.
Now we got time.
That 30 area is perfect for Hendon.
Nonetheless, we got a lot of positive mojo over here in Indianapolis. Joining us now is a man who's a Super Bowl champion.
What?
A man who was supposed to get cooked by the Eagles' defensive line. A man who put out a tweet that said 0 sacks, put it on a fucking shirt. Out of Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, Orlando Brown.
Yeah, Orlando!
Appreciate you. Put it on a fucking T-shirt.
I love that. I enjoy it. Orlando, thank you for joining us. How's it been the last couple of days? You guys been celebrating? You waiting for the parade tomorrow? What has life been like the last 48 hours?
Yeah, man. Obviously, right after game, it was a huge party, super turned up. But man, yesterday I needed some rest, so I took some time to rest yesterday. Pretty much, I slept on the flight. Got home, ate, kicked it a little bit, slept some more, and then today I'll be chilling. And tomorrow for the parade, man, we'll be super turned up.
Hey, you're a Super Bowl champion, dude. Huh?
Yeah.
You're a Super Bowl
I am,
champion.
man.
Obviously, the top of the top in the football world is being crowned a Super Bowl champion. You'll have that for the rest of your life. You'll be introduced as Super Bowl champion Orlando Brown Jr. And obviously, your name is synonymous with dominance in the offensive line game. But you guys were getting questioned. I mean, you guys were getting called out for 2-3 weeks. Was that obviously being utilized as motivation by the coaches, by you guys? How was it handled behind the scenes? Because you guys were supposed to get fucking obliterated by that Eagles defensive line, Orlando.
Yeah, I know, man. And you've been a player, you know what I mean? So you know how it goes, man. You hear the talk, you hear everyone saying everything, your coaches may say something here and there. Coach Reed and everybody on staff does a really good job of not making anything too big. But as players, man, we take a lot of pride, in protecting Patrick, executing our game plan on game day. And that Philly front is really good. They rushed 5 rushers, so it's one-on-ones across the board almost every single play. You know what I mean? It's not, no one's getting help necessarily, even with chippers, you know what I mean? It's still a tall task, man. And, we were prepared. We came out with a great game plan, and shit, we wore their ass out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about your game plan, Orlando. A lot of running. When did you guys know that was going to be the case? Because obviously in the AFC Championship game, I think you guys rushed for like 47 yards or something like that. Everybody was just assuming that Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy were going to be trying to sling it all over the Philadelphia Eagles back end. That was potentially maybe the weakness, not the D-line. When did you guys know that you were going to be running the rock, and how pumped is the offensive line for that, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, man, it just kind of was understood going into it. We had to do something to kind of take away their pass rush. And, our coaches talked about it all week. Making sure that we got a great run plan, executing the run plan, pounding them, with the schemes that we had up for the game. Man, so I feel like kind of once they put the game plan in, we didn't know how much we were going to run the ball. We knew it was going to be, involved, and the type of runs we had were some downhill runs. But man, I mean, when they started calling it, they started calling the runs. We start going. The third quarter started happening. we start seeing the morale go down, and the energy start getting built up on our sideline, and our defense is getting 3-and-outs, and Pat's coming in the huddle fired up. Shit just starts clicking.
That's what the run game can do, though. That is literally what the run game can do. Whenever the offensive line is allowed to basically put their dominance on display, it helps out with everything else. And nobody expected that from you guys. I love the fact that you went that way. Can you tell me about Pacheco? What a fucking dog that guy is, huh?
A fucking dog.
Dude, Orlando. He runs so angry. He's like, fuck, every step is like he's trying to run through a wall.
Yeah.
What an animal that guy is, an absolute beast.
Yeah, bro, he's a fucking dog. You said it best. I mean, it's crazy. He gets up so quick. Defenders think he's trying to fight him. Like, there's been times where like a linebacker's fucking tackled him and he's getting up so quick. Shit, he thinks that 10's trying to fight him. You know what I mean? He's full of energy, super explosive. He's like, he's just he's a dog, man, and he loves the game. He loves contact, which sometimes he can run the space to the green grass, but he'll rather try to run the safety over.
Yeah, you got to love that. Offensive line loves a running back that hits a hole. There was some massive. Hey, you guys had some big, gaping holes. Can you talk about the offensive strategy between Bieniemy and Andy Reid to maybe set you guys up leverage-wise and all the trick shit that you guys do that might help and all of that? And how do you feel as an offensive lineman whenever you see all those types of different plays being added in? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, man. I think just being here in KC, man, you love it, which is the reason we won the Super Bowl. It's you trust in the system, you trust in the plan. Coach Reid is going to make sure that he's putting every player on the field in the best position. And, Coach has never asked me to do anything I can't do. I would say the same thing goes for any of the guys up front. And the way that we came out with 7, seeing a puller and then a tight end blocking them and then a chipper here and then Wiley's on them and then Creed's on him. You know what I mean? It was just like the flow of a game, he's seeing so many different formations and bunch sets. And, now he's got to chip Trav on the way out and shit like that. It's just, like I said, man, Coach Reid and them really did a great job helping us understand the game plan, how we were going to affect them with the formations and motions. And then shit from there, man, it just went out. It was all on us to go out there and execute, man. And Andrew Wiley, he's been playing, in my opinion, great all year, and shit, he saved his best for last.
Okay, let's talk about halftime. You guys are down 10. Patrick Mahomes said on Jimmy Kimmel that Andy Reid said, hey, if you go out and watch Rihanna, just keep walking right off the field. We don't need you. You missed it was a great performance.
Oh, yeah,
no surprise appearances. I don't know if you got to watch it back. Hove didn't show up. Sir Paul McCartney. There was none of that. It was just pregnant Rihanna. So bangers, though, Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Bangers.
She got bangers. Got bangers.
I almost forgot about a couple. Like, music started playing. I'm like, oh, fuck. I forgot about this song. Okay, you know what I mean? It was one of those. So it was a great halftime show. You guys were obviously in a much different state of mind than we all were for halftime. Down 10, what was the message? What was the conversation? And that second half was obviously mightily different than the first half for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, man, they kind of came out, I feel like in that first half, they kind of came out how we expected them to, defensively and everything that they were running schematically. And we kind of weren't doing a great job executing and really staying ahead of the chains. And man, I mean, the message was just clear in the second half, going into the second half. Let's execute our plan. We know what they're going to do. We know how they're going to line up to our personnel and formations. Let's go out there and execute our plan. Pat communicated that. Trav communicated that. Coach Bieniemy, Coach Reid. It was clearly understood. You know what I mean? Hey, like, we've got the proper game plan in. Let's go out here and take this shit. Let's go out here with the mindset, to go take it. And man, that's something that we talk about in the offensive line room all the time. I bring up to the guys, man, it's nothing but made men. And going into this Super Bowl, man, the second half is straight gangster shit. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that you got to have in those big games, especially up front. You got to go take the spoon out their mouth. That's the only way that you're going to be able to win and beat these really good defensive lines, these really good fronts. Coach Sirianni, I mean, fuck, the way that they had those guys playing, I mean, shit's unreal. So, man, it was just clear at halftime what we had to do.
Hey, they were buzzsawing everybody. Yeah. Giants, buzzsaw. Niners, buzzsaw. And obviously, you guys don't know this because you can't pay attention to this type of stuff. Last week, Monday, 76% of the money bet was on the Philadelphia Eagles. 70% of the money by Thursday was on the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a lot of people expecting you guys to lose because exactly. Hey, I want to let you know I was not I want to let you know not I. Not I, but it was really like somehow, some way, with Patrick Mahomes on your team and with the way you guys, with Andy Reid and the way you guys operate, you guys are almost like heavy underdogs going into the game. People were like surprised that you were in it there early. I like to hear that at halftime it was like, hey, we just need to execute our shit and keep it moving. You guys don't hear any of that noise. You're in the middle of a potential dynasty, Orlando. You know that.
Yeah.
It's the middle of a potential dynasty. How do you not think about that? How do you guys not think about that?
Yeah, I mean, man, it's like, it's kind of fucked up, because, man, I'm already looking forward to, like, going back to work. And, like,
That's
going
not
to take
fucked up.
another
That
one.
is awesome, Orlando. That is
Yeah,
not a problem at all.
it's like, that's just the culture, though. That's just the mindset. That's just the understanding. You know what I mean? It's like, shit, man, I'm sure, fucking Steve Kerr felt the same way when he played with the Bulls. It's like you kind of understand that, hey, you've got Michael Jordan on your team. You've got Scottie Pippen on your team.
Kelsey.
And, it's Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Every year over there,
year.
it's Super Bowl or
Yeah.
bust. 5 straight
Yep.
AFC Championship games for Patrick Mahomes as starting quarterback, and everybody was talking about him not being the best quarterback in the league. Crazy stuff. Connor has a question for you, Orlando.
Yeah, Andy Reid also has a great, Phil Jackson mustache, so they got that going
Yeah,
on too.
triangle offense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of the same thing. Orlando, a lot of talk about the field on Sunday. Was that something that you guys were kind of going over, changing your steps maybe because of how everyone was kind of slipping around?
Yeah, man, it was pretty slippery out there. I think we had a little bit of traction issues up front, but nothing glaring or as bad as them, for some reason, man. I didn't have to wear my 7 studs or anything like that. I don't think any of the other guys up front did, but it was definitely super slick.
Hey, is that better for an O-lineman? Yeah, right?
Yeah, you could say that. But shit, it's slippery for us too. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's kicking backwards. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Damn,
pretty
you got
good,
a
huh?
Solid pass that, dog. Yeah, hell yeah. Shoulders more square.
Go to
But
this, Go to this.
yeah, let me see. Let me see this.
Ready?
You see this shit?
What are we on, Orlando? Give a cadence. What are we on?
Yeah. Let's just give you a Sunday cadence, man.
What's
Let's
that?
just
What's
quick.
that?
Yep. Just wide 80 white. Ball snap right away.
Okay.
Wide 80 white.
Oh, I missed it.
White 80. White 80 white.
Hi!
Oh shit.
What, dude?
Solid, dog.
Huh?
Solid.
Hold on. Do it
Solid.
again. Let's do another white 80 white. Do another white 80 white.
Here we go. White 80 white.
Boom, bitch! You know what I mean, Orlando?
Hey, I hear you, dog.
I've been working on that. I've been working on the club pass, you know what I mean? So we can kind of slip inside there and I can lead the way. AQ, former offensive lineman, has a question for you, Orlando.
Yeah, so the play on the 3rd and 1 to Pacheco, when you guys lined up with the fullback, you sent him downhill, you pulled both guards. Is that one of those plays that you guys haven't run all year, but you've worked it like 25,000 times, waiting for that moment, and then boom, it shows up on the biggest stage at the biggest moment?
Yeah, that's crazy you say that because normally most of our plays I would say yes. Man, that's one of the few that Coach Andy Heck installed, who's also our run game coordinator and offensive line coach. He installed that about 2 weeks ago, and right after the game, and he had some older clips from here since he's been here in KC, and I think maybe even Jacksonville as well. But it's just something that's just been in the system for years, and it's like basically a sweep, or like a 39 sweep or a 38 sweep. And shit, man, we came out and executed it really well. But I got to give all the credit to Coach Heck on that one.
Yeah, because the timing of all that is a lot. There's a lot going on, a lot of choreography going on. So you would assume, I think, with most things like, hey, this has been drilled. The fact that you guys are able to just pull that off in the biggest stage, I think, goes to the culture of what the Chiefs are, just ready for the moment at all times. Speaking of ready for the moment, obviously we would be, idiots not to bring it up. You're from left tackle legacy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I remember at Baltimore when you had the opportunity to play left tackle, and obviously your dad has passed away, but what do you think that you picked up from your dad growing up that kind of gave you an advantage maybe over everybody? Or is there things that you lean on still that you've learned from your father whenever you're playing in games? Like in the Super Bowl, is there something you think about like, oh, my dad told me this at one point? Like, is that always prevalent in your life, or do you have to kind of compartmentalize all of it?
Yeah, always. It's always been prevalent, man. Something, and I'm sure, if one of your kids go out and be a punter one day, like it'll be clear and understood. Like, it's certain things that when you've played at a high level, your education and understanding of the game is different. And something my dad always preached to me was understanding play by play, win or loss, what you're doing. Remember the footwork in that moment that won you that rep. Remember your hand placement. remember what it felt like. And so that was something he always preached to me, even before I even started playing football, was feeling that, seeing it, slowing the game down with your eyes, your mind, knowing that, okay, I've got my third kick in the ground. His shoulders are still upfield. Okay, he's probably going to be working an edge. Okay, I'm setting him. I can see his eyes looking at my outside hand. I know he's going to be working my outside hand. And, man, no matter how elite the rusher is, no matter how sorry the rusher is, that's something that's always kind of been prevalent for me. And I've also been very fortunate, man, to have some really good offensive line coaches throughout my career. My mentor, Jamal Brown, somebody I worked with who played in the NFL for a long time. Man, I mean, I've been very blessed to be around great football minds, especially from an offensive line standpoint. And, man, I mean, just it's so many lessons that and so many things that were told to me as a child, man, that I could go on for hours about it. But to me,
That's awesome.
the most important one that I learned from my dad was really just seeing it, feeling it, and trusting it.
Okay, so I don't know you that well. This is our first time talking. Shout out. Hope
Yeah.
we get to do it again. I obviously
Hell yeah.
I didn't know your dad, but like, I assume he's incredibly fucking proud of you, dude. And after you
Yeah.
win the Super Bowl, do you have a moment with him? Do you have a moment with your dad?
Yeah,
think,
man.
like-
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just it's crazy, you know, to be able to be in this position. You know, as you said, you know, I dreamed my whole life of having the opportunity to play left tackle, and you know, I dreamed as a kid to be the starting left tackle for the Baltimore Ravens, man, like Jonathan Ogden was, and I had the opportunity to do that. And not everything was accomplished there. I wanted to be an All-Pro. I wanted to be a Super Bowler. I did make a Pro Bowl as a left tackle. But, you know, man, to be able to come here for this organization, for the Kansas City Chiefs, with Pat Mahomes, who's the Super Bowl MVP, the MVP of this league, Coach Reed, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, all of these big names, man, Brett Veach, Mr. Hunt. I mean, all of these big names that are involved against this historical defensive front, and to not give up a single fucking sack. I mean, it's I mean, it's true. It's truly special. It's truly special. And, you know, I always tell the guys, man, I love this shit. You know, I love football, man. I live and breathe it. And, I mean, it's nothing short of a blessing. I know my dad would be proud, but, man, I'm just this isn't the end of my career. I'm looking so much forward to just getting better each and every single year.
Hell yeah, Orlando. I wish you were on a Colts. The Chiefs are lucky to
Yep.
have you.
Yeah.
Connor has last question for you here, Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando, obviously you're going to get just a biblical-sized bag this offseason. Now, do you also think about that when you're thinking about what team you want to play for? Like, hey, you just went to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Obviously, that is kind of your standard, always has been. And now with this team, it's like you said, you have Jordan, you got Pippen. This is kind of the squad you want to be with. Is that something you bring to the table? Like, hey, I understand that, you know, I probably deserve $200 million, but at the same time, I want to play for a Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, man, I do. You know, I love to win. That's another thing. You know, I've been very fortunate since I've been in this league, man, to have been on some really good teams and play with some really good players. I've blocked for 2 MVPs, both of my quarterbacks on this level. I mean, it's like I've been in the playoffs every single year. You know, I've made 4 straight Pro Bowls.
What?
You know what I mean? It's like I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed, man.
Yeah, you're
And,
very good.
I mean, I love to win, dog. So whatever it is.
Hey, everything you just said there,
Yeah.
I just saw like dollar signs going up.
Yeah.
I bought for 2 MVPs. Been to the playoffs every single year. We just won a Super Bowl. I'm nowhere near my peak yet.
Play left tackle.
Yeah, you got a lot of money in the guy
Lot of
behind me.
money.
We're about to talk to your GM next, so hey, we will. We will certainly reiterate the
I'll say
fact. Yeah, absolutely. Orlando, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the success. Can't wait to see what you continue to do, and enjoy the hell out of the parade tomorrow. You earned every single second of it.
I will, man. I appreciate y'all having me on too.
Hell yeah, dude. Ladies and gentlemen,
Go
Orlando.
Chiefs, man.
Hey, Orlando Brown Jr.
Hey, Orlando!
Love that man.
Yeah,
He was great.
ridiculously smart.
Oh my God, I love that man. Isn't that? I just fell in love with it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, him explaining like the setup that he's learned.
Oh, his shoulders are still upfield.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to work an edge. Oh, look at his hands on my hand. Okay, got it. We're doing a little hand joust right now. And that's not like giving away the game, because the defensive end isn't going to be able to change that in the
No.
game. Like, not giving away strategy there at all. That's just like next level thinking. That comes from the generational, though, I think, right, AQ? That's the type of head start almost.
100%. It comes with film study, and you're starting to see it more and more, especially like some of these guys, man. They come from legendary programs. Like, he comes from Oklahoma. He gets to pick Trent Williams' brain if he wants, I'm sure, right? Like, you get to do that. When you do that in the NFL and play from these schools, you can grab everybody and use them as pieces of knowledge. It's incredible to see them.
He was awesome, though.
Awesome.
How
And
cool was that guy?
the man. And it's like almost makes you like the Chiefs more because obviously Kelsey Mahomes, but like guys like that you don't really hear about. Creed Humphrey, similar. And to AQ's point with Trent Williams, he also played with Marshall Yonda when he came into the league.
Yeah,
with the
not a
Raiders.
bad help.
That guy probably gives.
What's he
him
doing?
1 or 2
Iron
things.
Man's now.
Yeah, Yonda's lost a lot of weight. He looks fantastic.
Still could move a body if he had to.
100%.
Sure, yeah, he's got that.
Stopped every bull rush he ever went against.
What's that? He has that just corn-fed strength, right?
yeah,
And
no doubt.
he's from Iowa?
Yeah, right. He played at Iowa.
Is he from Iowa? I don't remember.
From Iowa, parents still have a farm there. Like,
He's got those toilet seat
It's
hands.
everything you think of when you think of Iowa.
He just literally every single day of his life, every meal was just corn. Just yawned. I'm gonna be
That's right.
stronger and better
Baling
than
hay.
ever.
Beef.
Boom, tossing it,
Yep.
milking cows, probably.
Oh yeah.
Tons of them.
Working on those biceps while squeezing those teats.
Churning butter.
Always gonna have that strength.
Yes.
No doubt.
Speaking of growing up in a place that makes legends, this man is a former Big 33 All-Star. Big 33 is the All-Star game between high school seniors of Pennsylvania taking on the high school seniors of Ohio.
Whoa.
It's a big-time game, used to be at least, before people started going to college early. This guy played in that game. Not easy to play. I didn't get invited to that game. AQ played in that game, obviously, because he was a Hall of Famer. But when you're in Pennsylvania high school football, you're trying to get into the Big 33 game back in the day. This dude played in it. An absolute dog. And all he's done is just transformed the way rosters are constructed. Ladies and gentlemen, two-time Super Bowl champion general manager, Brett Veach.
Yeah, Brett!
What's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing? Awesome to be on this show, and great shout out to the former legend AQ himself, another Big 33er.
Yeah.
So honored to be on with him
Let's
as well.
go, Brett.
Yeah, Brett, listen, that Big 33 game, I was not invited to play it. Okay, I was not good enough. Obviously, I had to work my way to get to my place. You started out as a superstar football player in high school. Now you're a general manager. Did you know that your future was always going to be in football, regardless of if you played or if you coached, or is it going to be scouting? When did you know what you were going to end up doing, you think, Brett?
Yeah, well, my entire family, as you know, Pat, they're all involved in football. My brothers played. My dad actually still coaches in Mount Carmel to this day. So without question, I knew football was going to be a part of my life forever. I probably just thought I would go the coaching route and stayed at University of Delaware when I got done playing as a GA and just figured I'd tag along somewhere as a quality control coach or a position coach and hopefully work my way up. But there was a different plan that kind of unfolded while I was working with Coach Reed in Philadelphia, and I think it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 Super Bowl champions.
Couple ranks.
Hey, 2 Super Bowls as a GM, Brett. Let's go. From high school coach potentially to GM that has changed the way the NFL goes. Whenever you decide to cut, you have the 7th youngest roster in the NFL. You know that, obviously. 7th youngest roster in the NFL. With all those superstars, you're somehow able to stay young. Is that all because of the 10-year deal with Patrick Mahomes? And at what point did you start figuring out how to kind of do the salary cap gymnastics? Was it with that deal because you knew you had to pay the greatest player potentially of all time when it's all said and done? And how did you get to that point with Patrick?
Well, we certainly knew that deal would be the catalyst to sustain a long period of success here. And as you accumulate, there's the problems that come with having a really good roster. So when you have a really good roster, you're picking late in the draft, and you're also probably paying a lot of good players. So Pat's contract, along with guys like Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, these all start to add up and accumulate. So we kind of hit the crossroad there in the offseason when the wide receiver market just went out into a different stratosphere. And that was a time that we thought, look, we have some talented players, and we're going to be picking late in drafts, and we're not going to have a ton of cap space. So there's going to be that moment in any franchise's run that you have to make tough decisions. And so we wanted to reinvest in the youth and really try to give more balance. We know we're always going to score points. We have Pat Mahomes, we have Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. We're always going to score points. Let's start reinvesting in the youth, in particular on the defensive side. And I think it worked out. And those young guys played a lot of snaps. I think our rookies.
4 of them, right? You had 4 of them, I think, playing in the back end of the AFC Championship?
Yeah. We had a ton playing on both sides of the ball. But I think overall, our rookies took the third most snaps in all the NFL, and I think the only rookie classes that played more than us were the teams that are picking 1 and 2. So, the rookies were asked to play a significant role on a really good team. So, they stepped up, and I think on the defensive side, those rookies ended up playing their best football late in the season. which is when you need it the most. So it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, just kind of worked out.
course.
Always seems to just kind of work out for some people, and for other people, they can't find a good draft pick anywhere. Anywhere, let alone late in the draft. What are you looking for? Just speed? Like on the offense, you guys have more speed than anybody else. And then you trade in for speed with Kadarius Toney, and he obviously pays off big, has a touchdown on a corn dog play, and then a massive punt return for you. Is speed the number one thing you're looking for, or how do you balance all of that while still getting smart players that can handle Andy Reid's offense and system? You've done a magnificent job of blending it all together, Brett. Is there a trick to it? What do you look for?
Well, I think you kind of alluded to it. It's speed and versatility, which goes with the player's aptitude to be able to come in and learn plays. Coach likes to create matchup problems, and he likes offensive players that can play multiple positions. So if he wants to get to a play or a look that's successful, it doesn't have to be that same receiver running that play or that same running back running that play. So any guy that can come in here, and certainly speed is right at the forefront of skill sets that are valued and desired. But guys that can run, but also like I mentioned, just be versatile and line up in different positions, play multiple positions. We like receivers that can play inside and outside, and we like running backs that can go out and play in the slot. So anytime you get speed and versatility, needless to say, those guys will be high on our priority list.
Doesn't that sound so simple?
It does.
Somehow Pacheco falls to the 7th round, and you're just sitting there like, I guess we'll get this guy
Sweet.
that's just going to become a sensation in his rookie year and be loved by the entire team. What did you see in him, and were you surprised he was still available, and how was he still available when you guys were able to get him?
Yeah, I think so. I think last year was one of those years where the COVID and the option some players had to go back or stay in the draft. And I think you finally saw some of the trickle down effect of that, and some of the running backs ended up staying because they had an extra year. So anyway, when we got to the draft last year, we were working through our late round board, like 5th, 6th, 7th round, and we just happened to notice there was a large number of running backs. And if that's usually a position, maybe we watch 6 to 10 players, 12 players. I mean, we had maybe 25, 30 names on the board, and it seemed like forever to get through that list. Now, Isaiah played at Rutgers. They didn't have a ton of success. And the one thing, when I had just mentioned about versatility and running backs that could catch, they didn't throw the ball a lot at Rutgers. Shoot, I think he may have had 4 targets, 5 targets. So, are we getting this big? Yeah, we getting this big bruising running back that maybe has stone hands, maybe he can't catch, and in our offense that isn't good. So I'd like to think that maybe that's what the rest of the league was worried about too, because it's such a passing league. But he went to his All-Star game, thought he caught the ball really naturally, and then his pro day, we thought it was awesome. It looked smooth, and even his route running for being, a 218, 220-pound back, I mean, he can get in and out of breaks. But once we saw the spring work, the All-Star games and the pro days, and watch how effortlessly he performed in that area, then we got excited, and we're certainly lucky he was there toward the end of the draft.
I don't remember watching him at Rutgers. Did he always run so pissed off? Like that just seems like he's so mad. Like as you're watching him the first couple games, you're like, holy hell, this is the most angry runner in the history of the NFL. Going back now, granted the field, we can dive into that here in a little bit, but going back to the offensive mind, we were just talking to Orlando Brown Jr. there. He's awesome. He is
great.
He's awesome, dude. He like literally was just chatting to us like he was fantastic. Choosing to run the ball, though, with a rookie, 7th rounder, like that was Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy's plan. Are you involved in that conversation? Do you know what the team is going to look like on Sundays, or are you surprised watching alongside all of us?
I would say that I'm surprised alongside of you most weeks. I think Andy and Eric, they did a great job of just feeling the game out. I think they'll have a game plan like all great coaches have going into a game, but the great ones able to just adjust and feel the momentum and feel how the game flow is going and working. And there's certainly some games where I think, and if you look at the Super Bowl, I think just looking at the numbers, common sense would have said the Eagles would have ran the ball a lot and we would have thrown the ball a lot, right? And so it kind of the reverse. The Eagles threw the ball up and down the field, and we were running the ball. So sometimes games just work out like that, and the great coaches know how to play off of that momentum and that vibe of the game and just be prepared. at every step of the way. And I got to tell you, when we had that last drive and Jerick McKinnon, broke that run, obviously it was smart, but I'm sure we were all thinking, go down, go down, go down. But the next play to take the kneel, there was part of me that I can't remember the game. I think it was an Atlanta game a couple of years ago where they wanted to do a kneel down, but they kind of gave the ball to the running back, right? And instead of kneeling down, he was just kind of holding himself up, and they pulled him into the end zone.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I was thinking, I hope they don't pull Pat into the end zone trying to just run the ball for a yard. So just getting back to the coach and knowing at every point of the game, if you have to mix it up, if you have to become a running team on the fly, be a running team on the fly. If you have to constantly remind your players about sliding and kneeling to use the clock, and then even when they're using the clock, to remind those players to don't get pulled into the end zone, back up. I mean, coach is on his mark every step of the way, and that's why he's one of the best to ever do it.
Okay, let's talk about Coach, who's working his way into the Mount Rushmore of coaching. Some people would already put him in there, which is a incredible feat, both with the Eagles and the Chiefs, and how he's just continued to evolve through the eras, not only of football, but of humans that he's coaching. Much different humans now than it was 15, 20 years ago, and he's been able to relate to everybody, motivate everybody, and he loves cheeseburgers and corn dogs. So we are massive fans of his, obviously. Did you have fear that he was going to retire? Was that an actual conversation you guys had? Because seemingly he has answered now. All of it's in the emotions of immediately winning a Super Bowl, and he's going to hang around and come back. But was that ever an actual conversation between you guys, or was that all kind of speculation from outside?
Yeah, I think that was total speculation. I mean, I'd like to think that other than his wife, Tammy, I don't think anybody talks to Coach or knows Coach as well as I do, and that has never come up. So I would be shocked if, he takes time away and comes up with a decision that is something other than coaching football. I think he's enjoyed the players and the coaches and the process his entire life, and he'd be the first one to tell you that he's extremely, blessed. But he's got so much to still offer, I think, and the way this is set up now for him, I think, is really good. Where, we've been together so long, and these seasons are so long and they're so draining. But for him now to kind of be able to have that time to decompress, and to go spend time with his family, recharge the batteries, start working on some new concepts and ideas, and let me and my staff go to work. Yeah, exactly. I think,
dude's awesome.
I think that, it's kind of, again, re-energized him. And he also does a great job of staying involved with the college offenses. The coaches around him are really in tune with, the college concept and ideas. And so that when he gets younger guys, he's already trying to incorporate a lot of the stuff that they were familiar with in college. And he just in general stays in touch with the younger crew and what they're watching and what they're going through and what they're experiencing in life, which I think helps them better relate as a coach. I mean, I show
That's
him
smart.
I show him clips of your show. I remember week one,
Whoa.
When you pulled out, some of the trick plays, and you said Andy Reid comes up with all this fuckery down at the goal line, and I sent it to him, and he came back in my room, and we were laughing about it for about 5-10 minutes. So,
Let's go,
yeah.
dude. Tell him I am a big fan, obviously, just like
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of yours. That's amazing to hear that we're inside that building. Thank you for the love, Mr.
Yeah.
Beach. We appreciate that. Thank you for joining us right now. That coach GM synergy is a massive ordeal, and it doesn't get talked about a lot by either former coaches that leave, former GMs that leave, or the media. But I think on our show, we try to kind of ask that question. Sean Payton said last week at Radio Row that for him, taking a job, it was how the ownership, the GM, and the coach are going to be. That is literally his only thing. The quarterback next, but that is the most important and vital part for the success of an organization. There's a lot of places where it is not. You just talked about how long you've been with Andy Reid and the success you guys have had together. What is it about you two you think that made you guys click and have sustainable clickness, if that makes sense? Because sometimes egos getting in the way. You're in the middle of building a dynasty. The only other team that's ever been able to do that is the head coach was the GM. So there's no chance of fucking egos getting in the way of anything. How have you and Andy Reid clicked so well, and how have you been able to do it through all this success as well? Because normally it gets kind of sideways one way or another.
Yeah. Well, I think to start, just the simple fact that I really came up and I've experienced every level. I mean, I started out as coach's assistant, and then from coach's assistant, I was I was an office scout, a Midwest scout, a Southeast scout, a national scout, and then a kind of co-director. So on one end, I kind of, in regards to building a draft board and doing a free agency plan, I've kind of worked at every level. But I think Coach has seen me work at every level, and we've been together so long. So I think that there's such a huge amount of trust and respect. And I think when Coach goes into a free agency or an off-season plan, we have worked together for so long that when I come to him and let him know what me and my staff are thinking in regards to here are the guys we're targeting with some other guys, but this is what we're thinking, and I kind of mirror that with the draft board and positions and stackings, basically trimming out all the fat for him and just giving him real information instead of watching 14 offensive linemen. Coach, take a peek at 2 or 3 of these guys. We'll probably select one of them. Here's what we're thinking. We've been together for so long now where it's more of a I'm cool with it, and still peeking at some tape, but we're not draining everything out of him, having him watch all this tape all this time. I mean, he's really just coming in, touch base with us, get inside of our minds, see what our thinking. But Pat, I just think over the years there's so much trust now. It's one of those things where obviously, I wouldn't sit there and dial down to Coach Reed on a 3rd and 3 and say, here's what I'm thinking, Coach, let's run this. Because obviously, I mean, he's a brilliant Hall of Fame coach, and I'm nowhere ever trying to put myself in his category.
Well, you're going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, hate to say it, you Pennsylvania fuck. I mean, this is going to happen.
Drafts keep going.
Yeah, Dynasty, you're in the middle of it. Fucking A. You're going to be having that gold jacket on. You're going to be giving a speech. It's going to be fantastic. Canton, Ohio, not too far where you're from.
Yeah.
Going to be so many Veach fucks in the crowd. I mean, this is going to happen. That's real life. So we won't just let you blow by that. But you're saying he has the same trust that you have for him.
Yeah, exactly. So in the similar fashion, he doesn't sit there. He knows how hard my staff work and how hard I work, and he knows that when we come to him, with a solution to a problem, that like we went over every possibility.
Tyreek, hey, moving on from Tyreek, was there any? What was that? Was that a?
Yeah.
I'm sure Andy Reid, who had Tyreek Hill running 4 miles a play and obviously created him into the market that he's in. And Tyreek Hill is a game changer regardless of where he is. He's one of one, an anomaly. Was that an interesting conversation whenever you come up to him and talk about that? Or did he understand the business of it? Obviously, you guys have been around each other long enough.
Yeah. Well, that one was a little different because he understood it, but he didn't love it. He was high-fiving for. I mean, because it kind of went in a weird flow where we went to the combine and we met with Drew. And we expressed interest to, re-sign him. Let's get him back here. And we had some positive conversations with Drew. Left the combine. A week later, free agency starts. Christian Kirk deal happens, and Adams gets traded. And then the market went to another world. And then when there was 2 days of silence from Drew, we were like, okay, here we go. All right, we're getting the call here. So, then I kind of filled coaching as free agency was happening. Like, Coach, I know we thought we were going to go in this direction with Tyreek, but just so you know, I hadn't heard from Drew in a couple days. The receiver just signs for a ton of money in Jacksonville. Another one just gets traded. This is going to be hard because now these contracts look completely different. So, Trey, let's all put that on our radar. Let's see what Let's see what it looks like. But let's not be surprised by these possibilities. And then as the day goes on, it's like one of those looks more likely, and then Coach, it's going to happen. So it was kind of like a buffering period for me where I wasn't hitting him with just one shot. It was kind of leaking it. So bits and pieces where when it finally came, to the decision day, I mean, Coach was already, just like death by a thousand cuts. He had kind of known it was coming.
Yeah, he understood why it was happening as well. And that's one of those incredibly difficult decisions that you have to make in your seat that a lot of people can't make, won't make, and then obviously they do make, and then it backfires completely. Shout out to the Titans.
Yep.
Boston Connor has a question for you, Mr. Veach.
Yeah, Brett, on that same exact subject with Tyreek Hill, when you're looking at players and what contracts are going to be, are you trying to project okay, in 5 years the wide receiver market is going to be where it's at now? And do you try and do that? And then when you look back at the Mahomes deal, did you realize hey, right now 10 years, $430 million, 500 total might be a little ridiculous, but halfway through this contract, we're going to be the ones that are looking back this is probably one of the best, if not the best contract ever given to a quarterback, both for the player and for the team?
Yeah, well, we certainly did that with the quarterback contract, just trying to project the market outward, just because those contracts are going to be the biggest on your team, and they're going to take up the most percentage of your cap in regards to your total roster. So, to your question in regards to the quarterback in his contract, that was something that we wanted to give ourselves a long runway because on one end we're going to try to project where these will be, but also the contract's long enough so that we and the player can adjust it. Because
that's going to happen, right? I assume in the next couple of years that's going to happen again.
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable to happen at some point, but we have quarterbacks coming up this year, right? We have Herbert and Burrow, and so where they are now, because our contract is so long, that's adjustable. The numbers for Pat and how that will come out. I mean, you have a built-in runway to make adjustments there, but you also have built-in runways to potentially work the numbers to to create more space on a given year if you need to. So it just the more years you have, the longer you have to adjust the number for the player and adjust the number potentially to help your team in any given year. Those are tricky to come by though, because people always say, well, I mean, that's the benchmark and that's what all these teams should be doing. And you guys it takes a very unique setup. Like you have to have an ownership that wants to give. I mean, that contract is basically $500 million for 10 years. No getting out of it for us. I mean, we can mix the numbers and move the numbers. You have to listen. It's a violent league, and players get hurt all the time. And I know the quarterbacks aren't taking hits like other positions, but still, 10 years is a long amount of time. And you have to get the ownership who is good with a 10-year contract in the NFL, which is unheard of. So there's buy-in on the ownership. There's certainly buy-in on the coaching staff and the personnel staff that we're not finding anybody better than this, and that seems like it's even silly to say now because we aren't. He's the best.
Yes.
But then but then the player too. Like the player has to say. I mean, the player knows he has leverage, and the agent knows he has leverage. But when you take a step back, I mean, they have a ton of securities in the contract with injuries, protections. He's in a place where he loves, and he genuinely wants to do things to help this organization, and not just this organization, this city. So you have to have the stars in alignment to pull off a contract like that. I don't think it's like some wizardry by our staff or just some concept that just came down from the heavens that we are giving to this player that no one thought of. No, it just takes three people that have so much trust in one another that they're like, screw it, let's do it.
Oh, so you just got to have like
luck.
One of the greatest. No. A lot of hard work to get to this point. You got to have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already.
That's right.
You got to have one of the greatest coaches of all time already.
Seems easy.
And you got to have one of the greatest GMs of all time already.
Okay.
Simple. And then you got to have an ownership that has $500 million to put into escrow too.
Bingo.
Right? Because that has to take place, and to say that they'll invest 10 years. But the quarterback also has to commit to a city for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be in Kansas City. No, I love Kansas City. Hell, I live in Indianapolis. So do not take me as somebody that would bash a city for its size or how many humans are in there. You can have a fucking great time anywhere. And there is great things in every single city. But he's a megastar. Patrick Mahomes is a megastar. He's marquee. He's billboard. So him committing to staying in Kansas City as opposed to what could potentially take place in LA, there's two teams. Yep. New York, for his brand, there's two teams. Down in Miami, there's obviously that whole place there's cranes everywhere. It's blown up even more, and it's like the hot spot. So I think that is an amazing deal that you guys laid out. And I guess we are kind of taking it for granted.
Absolutely.
When we're like, why didn't this team just fucking do a 10-year deal? There's a lot of commitment there, Brett. That's a lot of commitment.
A lot of long-term commitment that you can't get out of, and like I said, it requires and entails a huge amount of trust. And Pat trusts us that we're going to surround him with great coaches and players, and we obviously have the trust that he's going to continue this epic level of play for years to come. And the owner, trusts in our training staff too to keep him healthy for all these years, and our organization to keep pushing him to get better. So it's a lot. It's a leap of faith, but I think if you're going to take a leap of faith like that, these are the people and the players that you do that for.
What do you got to do? You got to go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. AJ Hawk via Bobby Carpenter.
Yes.
Connor, what were you going to ask real quick?
Yeah, Brett, real quick, because of that contract and everything you just said and how, great it is in Kansas City and with Kadarius Toney, are you finding it hard now that GMs are kind of like, you know what, fuck Brett Veach and the Chiefs, I don't want to trade with these guys and make them better? Or, is everything kind of cordial?
I think it's cordial because I think at the end of the day, teams are always going to do and make moves that benefit themselves, and they're going to operate in that manner. Now, I mean, I'm sure that there are some teams where if we were involved in a trade or some type of acquisition, and I think in general, I think when you are faced with similar options from teams and one team has one or is, winning currently, I think you kind of would work a deal with a lesser team. But I don't think I've noticed over the last few years teams just not picking up the phone calls. I think just in general, if teams can get what they believe is 1% better, I mean, they'll call anybody and try to work anything. And believe me, I mean, we worked that trade with the Giants, and the Giants for the longest time didn't want to do the trade because they knew we were going to have a good record, and they knew that the compensation wouldn't be as good, and so that we tried to get him in the spring, and it didn't work out, and then we continued and finally got him before the trade deadline. But if they had better, they would taken it, and at the time, Kadarius didn't play all year, so it was hard for us to do more. So it was one of those deals where
You know what we were saying?
Yeah.
We're saying, of course, Veach gets the next Tyreek Hill.
Bingo.
Like that, of course, that's what we're saying about you. And you know what the rest of the league's saying about you? If that guy was good enough to be in Veach's locker room, when they get cut, everybody's getting picked up to other teams. This is what happened to the Patriots for a long time. Anybody that would get cut from the Patriots is going to another team. That doesn't happen with, like, low-level teams. Guys clear waivers. They're going to the XFL, you know what I mean? Or they're going to a practice squad somewhere. If, like, a Patriots got somebody for the last 20 years, it's like, if he's good enough for Bill Belichick, he's good enough for our team. Like, that's what you're getting viewed like that, dude. That's awesome. You should feel honored about that, I think, Veach.
No, well, it feels good. It means that, you and your staff has worked hard to collect talent. It's funny you mentioned that. Our first year here in 2012, 2013, when we came over as a staff, Seattle had that little window where they were rolling, and it felt like every time that, I guess right at the end of training camp, when we made all of our cuts, we made a bunch of cuts that year. I think every player that we claimed or acquired off waivers, I think they're from the Seahawks. So,
hey, if it's good enough for them, is it good enough for us? Is that kind of the thought?
When they were hitting the golden window there, when they were rolling it, and but it goes in cycles, and we're hitting the Chiefs cycle. Now it's our job to see how long we could make this cycle run and extend this window here.
Yeah, seems like you got Patrick Mahomes. You're going to be A-okay. And Andy Reid. AQ Shipley has a question for you.
Brett, when you decided to revamp the offensive line after the last Super Bowl, right? I think Thuney, everybody knew who he was, right? Creed Humphrey, everybody knew who he was. You go get him. You get Trey Smith in the 6th round, who, by the way, I love as a football player. Absolutely love. When you were weighing the medical on him, right? Like, as a GM, when do you take risk versus reward, and kind of how does that play out?
Right. So that's a great question, and that's obviously why Trace fell in the draft. I got a really good training staff. Rick Burkholder has been here forever. Our team physician, Mike Monaco, has been here what seems like forever. I try to keep the medical, when it's that important, I try to keep it real simple. Like, it's a yes or no from the docs. I don't try to coerce or, try to sugarcoat anything. I'm like, here it is, doc. And I don't even tell doc the name, because obviously sometimes you get medical information. Sometimes it's important because it's a first-round tackle, and sometimes they get it. It's potentially a free agent lineman, and I don't want docs to get swayed by, all right, this is a first-round pick. We got to make this guy clear the bill of health here. So I don't do that, number one. And then secondly, I just make it black and white, where if he's clear, he's clear, and if he's not, he's not. And I'm not going to sit there and have a debate with a doctor, because I'm not a doctor, and if there's any liability, I certainly don't want that on the organization whatsoever. And Mike Monaco, since working with him, I felt like he's one of the more conservative docs in the combines. In fact, this, when you get to the combine, you get all these combine grades, right? And they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rarely see a 5. 5 is like heart failure potential. I mean, really bad. Like, some guys get diagnosed with stuff and they become a 4 or 5. And fortunately, at the combine, it gets identified, and there've been places
Life saved.
Life-saving surgeries just because stuff got identified. But once you get into the 1, 2, or 3s, it's really up to the team. I mean, obviously, so 1's the best. You like to be 3 or less, but the 4s and the 5s you got to really watch. And with Trey, he was one of those 3.5s. It was like right in the middle of a 3 and a 5. I turned it over to Mike Monaco. Mike has a history as far as I'm concerned when I'm working with him, he's always leaning conservative or no. So a bunch of the guys that have been drafted over the years that were considered medical risk, we were already a no, way ahead of time, off the board. So when I sent him the file of Trey Smith, I almost in my mind said, well, I sent it to Mike, this will be a no. He says no to almost everything. And like 2 or 3 days later, I hadn't heard from him. And the draft is in like a couple weeks, and I told Mike, I called him back and I said, you got this file on Trey Smith, right? He just said, yeah. And he said, listen, I think he's going to be okay. I know he has a family history of this, but I'm looking at all the charts. I sent it to 2 experts out in LA. They told me the same thing. They said, if we can get him in here before the draft, we can do 2 tests. If he passes them, I feel good. Well, because COVID, we weren't allowed to bring him in to do the test. So we had to roll the dice. And we brought him in. We did the test. He passed the test. He's been great ever since. Now we'll have to continue to monitor him, but it's just a story on how this whole organization works as one unit, and that was a great case of a doc helping us out and making that selection.
It seems like you're leading a fantastic program over there. You should be incredibly proud, and we appreciate the hell out of you joining us, man. You're a really good dude, and obviously you're going to go down as a GOAT in Canton for the rest of your life. So congrats on everything, and thank you for your time, Brett.
Thank you, guys. It was honor to be on the show. Really was. Appreciate it.
Man, you're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Veach. Thank you.
Yeah, Brett.
That was a good convo.
Yeah, I mean, him pulling a clip and bringing it to Andy Reid's office. Hey, look at this. They're talking about the fuckery down at the red zone.
I do like the fact that was your big takeaway because it was the first thing I was thinking about, too.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, they're watching
That's
our
unreal.
shit.
Yeah.
Our dumb shit is in the Super Bowl champions room or whatever. Let's get to a break. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then Aaron Rodgers will be on the other side.
Hell yeah.
Big thanks to Brett Veach for joining us, Orlando Brown Jr. for joining us, and also to Pro Kenix.
Yeah, Kinetic.
Kinetic on the pickleball paddle.
Good paddle.
It's called the Black Ace Pro. And I'll tell you what, a lot of that second word happening with this.
A lot of aces being served.
This thing's big boy, too. I mean, it's got a big...
Clean.
Boom.
Sent,
Go to the wide shot, Z.
Yeah.
Go to the wide shot, Z. You're doing great back there, by the way, Z. If you could zoom that out. Boom. Pickleball net right in the middle of the court.
Boom. Got it.
There's Thunderdome pickleball in here. We've had to create our own rules because we don't have the paint or the proper size net. So we got our own little game happening. I think it's like a more intense version of pickleball.
Much harder.
We've been whipping this ball back and forth on this wooden floor in really close quarters. I think we're getting good. I think we're getting better. I think the game's sticking around. Speaking of sticking around, you should do that. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the other side of this 5-minute break. Take 5! Yesterday was, a day that I've been waiting for my entire life, preparing for my entire life, dreaming of my entire life.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change.
Obviously, we had the Daily Show for 3 hours, about 15 minutes here. You send Josh Allen to the Colts?
I would trade myself before I trade Josh.
Immediately following doing this show, I went to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and filmed an episode of Peyton's Places with Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday. Best one yet. Hey, I didn't memorize some lines.
Oh,
I was up in the crow's nest where you wave the green flag and then the checkered flag. The ladder to get up to that thing was literally this thick. And then you're standing on top of the track. I'm just hanging out there for a couple hours. I guess that episode's coming out in the fall. Got to see Jeff Saturday again. Love chatting with Jeff. Got to see Peyton again. Love chatting with Peyton. It was amazing. I was very thankful to be a part of that. And then immediately after that wrapped, hopped on a plane, flew to beautiful Chicago, Illinois.
Can't stop now, I'ma grind till I'm ghost. I thank God how he held me down the most. Can't stop now, gotta grind till I'm ghost. Gotta thank God how he held me down the most. Got the whole team on my back.
And I can't thank the people of Chicago enough for the love they gave me whenever I walked out into the arena last night. WrestleMania, I'm preparing day and night, 2-a-days, 3-a-days, eating healthy, getting back into the best shape of my life so I can beat the hell out of Austin Theory. And tonight, Dream come true, mission accomplished. Yesterday was one of the coolest days of all time, and I can't thank everybody enough for allowing me to live this life. It's the dumbest life of all time. I will continue to try to enjoy every single moment. I will continue to try to do my best at everything I am doing, and thank you all so fucking much for all these opportunities. What is it? Why is that thing not moving? Why is there a light in the sky? Is that an alien? What up, alien? My name's Pat. This is Foxy. Let's chat. City UFO. That was a hell of a Monday, wasn't it? Show, Peyton's Places, Monday Night Raw debut. Now we're back home. Got a meeting in the morning. Back at it. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Valentine's Day Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Hour 2 shall start immediately after this. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
We've been saying football for a long time, and obviously the football season has came and went. Congratulations to everybody that put together an incredible NFL season.
Good season, boys.
Today's Valentine's Day, so it's all about love, but I love the conversation we're about to have, not only with the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at AQ Shipley today, at a baby AQ,
Wow.
or with one part of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys Mitt sitting in for Tone Diggs,
Real Cowboy.
or all the boys in the back. We got Zito, Bruce Brown,
What?
Nick, Bill is here as well. We can't thank everybody enough for joining us on this glorious Tuesday. Our last show before we go on like a 10-day hiatus where we will all try to find our own inner peace. Speaking of inner peace, this man's inner peace is absolutely toxic. He's from the state of Ohio. He is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion,
What?
Ryder Cup champion,
What?
COVID survivor, father of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, baby AJ, hey, it's all about love.
Yeah, all about love today. Is that for Aaron or is that for Valentine's Day?
Well, both. I think it ties together perfectly, doesn't it?
For everyone.
Yeah, it works. I assumed for Aaron, then I realized, oh, Valentine's Day as well. Here we go.
Okay, get some flowers, obviously. Just an
on.
effort holiday. It's an effort holiday. That's all it is. Just a
Yeah.
reminder. I know. Hey, Valentine's Day is 365 days with me and my wife.
We don't do it in Ohio.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I understand that completely, but I think that is what this holiday is. And obviously, you ask my father and plenty of other blue-collar dads out there, it's a made-up holiday by Hallmark. I'm not fucking Mark, okay? They're trying to get all our money all the time. I don't need to be buying into their puppetry. But happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, and I hope everybody gets a chance to showcase their love for another, because we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. We have no clue. There's aliens potentially flying over Lake Huron.
That's right.
And joining us now, a man who's doing something that we had never heard of in just a few days to do his own thing. Ladies and gentlemen, four-time NFL MVP, the COVID MVP back-to-back, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of light over there, Aaron. Are you trying to take it all in? Is there no blinds for the next few days as you go into your darkness retreat here in a few days?
Listen, I'm not in my darkness retreat yet.
What?
Oh, yesterday.
What?
Nope. This thing has been planned for about 4 months, and it was always the same date, always the end of this week.
Oh.
So anybody with knowledge to the opposite of that, it's fake news.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
let me just reiterate one more time.
Suck it, rap.
There's an inner circle, right? And in my inner circle, nobody talks to Ian Rappaport, to Adam Schefter,
What?
or to any of those people. Okay? So if you're one of those people who's talking to those people, it's a great reminder for you, you're not in the inner circle.
Oh!
Damn.
That was a hanging on somebody there. Yeah.
And if anybody else is out there saying stuff, or if they're just making it up, which is also, those are both likely, just stop with the fake news.
Okay.
So I speak for myself.
Yep.
And I will continue to do that. I'm not upset about it. Like, it's the classic media, trying to be first, not trying to be right. And the problem is there's a slippery slope. So let me just remind everybody out there listening. When somebody says something, whether it's Ian Rappaport,
right,
or Adam Schefter,
right,
okay, Joe Biden,
all right,
Donald Trump,
yeah,
all right, what?
Anthony Fauci,
what?
Okay, here we go.
Joe Rogan,
what?
Doc,
myself,
what?
anybody, question it. If it's legitimate, it can stand up to questioning. So question things, and then think about them and contemplate them in your own time, and try and figure out what seems most likely to be true based on your own intuition and feel and conglomeration of fact. But no one in my inner circle talks to those people. I don't talk to those people. I don't have their numbers. I've never met them. And listen, I'm doing a darkness retreat later this week. I'm excited about it. I didn't realize how much it would take off.
Big. Let me can I wrap everything you just said up there? Just real quickly,
please.
Because it matters. Whenever you talk about questions, I think on Friday we said Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is going to happen. So everybody that watches our show heard us say it, and I'm not saying we're in the inner circle, but like you said that to us that we're going to do it. So like I think there was a lot of people that were questioning it immediately, but a lot of those people potentially don't watch our show. So then whenever Rappaport reports it on it, and by the way, we put him through a series of questioning. AJ, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, he knows, but he was standing by his source, so I knew this might be tough.
Well, and shout out to his source who's not in the inner circle.
Nope.
That's a fucking tough Tuesday, whoever that person was. They thought they were in there. But when Ian Rappaport reported, been out, didn't fucking know, get out. But whenever you're talking about it being reported on the league's network, on Super Bowl Sunday with all eyes on it, now you got like Jets fans' expectations, okay, this guy's answer's coming on Thursday or whatever, and then automatically there's expectations on you whenever it was a misreporting of a date that something was supposed to happen. So it seems so petty in theory. There's people that'll be like, Aaron's not happy that it was misrepresented. Well, that's because it became misexpectations from people about an answer on things, and it was being reported by the league, so it's like a super legit thing. So you become heel almost by doing what you were already planning to do for the last 4 months in that moment. Just to wrap that all up, I think that's why, for people that don't understand why you're a little bit passionate about that, like that's a real thing that was taking place on the internet. I saw it yesterday because Ian Rappaport said, and Ian Rappaport's a good friend of ours. We like Ian. Ian's this big. He's awesome.
Good guy.
He's good. He's been good for us. Now, he's done a lot of shit. I assume breaking news in your life. You have your own relationship with him. We like him. But whenever we said to him, are you sure he's going to be on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday? Well, maybe he delayed it. So then I saw Jets fans going, I don't want this fucking, oh no.
Not
My
the
pickleball
ace.
racket just fell on the ground there. Sorry about that. Anyways, so whenever it's like delayed, you got some people saying, I'm sick of dealing with this guy. Now I got to deal with a delayed this. Like it just all adds into.
And listen, that's my problem with the whole thing. I have no problem with Ian Rappaport, Schefter. I think they really good at their jobs. When it comes to me, they don't know shit. They really don't. They don't have inner source. They don't have people in my inner circle who are sources. I can promise you that. And anybody who would talk to them is not in my inner circle. It's that simple. Yeah. So I've had this planned on the books for 4 months for the same time. And when someone like that goes on and says something that's not true, it creates a story that's bullshit. And it just keeps on going and going and going. And then it's like I'm trying to insert myself into this conversation. No, what did I say? And you and I talked, Pat, like we did the show last week. I said, after the Super Bowl, I'm going to go on my darkness retreat. And then I'm probably going to have a better sense about where I'm at in my life. I didn't say I'm going to my darkness retreat just to figure out if I want to play next year or retire, right? So then that narrative got out there. So how many fucking narratives can come from one show where they didn't even actually listen to what I said or the intent or the tone? And again, nothing against Rappaport, but he doesn't have anybody who knows legitimately what's going on in my life.
Well, we apologize.
So say something.
We apologize.
Didn't say something Monday through Thursday I was supposed to be in there. That was never the plan. It hasn't been the plan for 4 months. So don't make shit up, okay? Like, I don't have your number. You're not going to have my number. You do a great job, but not when it comes to my life, so stop talking about it.
All right. I'm happy we're past it. Okay. We hate that we are a part of this negative vibe potentially coming
No,
into your
Sebastian,
life.
there's no negative vibe.
No.
It's Valentine's Day. It's all love.
No, hey,
So-
look, hey, and also the darkness retreat too. Go ahead, AJ.
We're just we're correcting a flaw in the system that is, let's be first instead of be right. When it comes to me, the majority of these people have not been right. They've tried to be first. So you paint a picture of a person a certain way, and it's I hate to have to do this over and over and over again to correct things. But when they say things like somebody at Athletes First said this about where he's going, not true. I just talked to Dave for the first time last week. Somebody, my source says he's going to darkness Monday through Thursday. Not true. I'm sitting here today. It's Tuesday. Come on.
Pretty light.
Just stop with the reporting on me because you don't have the right sources and you don't have the truth.
Okay, AJ, go ahead, pal.
I know you've said on here you don't really mind, I guess, being looked at as a villain. And if people say mock or roll their eyes at certain things you do, like the darkness retreat, talking with the plant medicine and Mother God or whatever how you phrased it, does that make you almost double down? Does that make you stronger in your convictions and almost double down? Just say, all right, you think I'm going 4 days? I'm going 8 now, buddy.
No, not really. I have a lot of love and empathy for all people. I'm fascinated by humanity and curious about a lot of individuals and what they're into and how they see the world. There was a time where I was judgmental of plant medicine and things like a darkness retreat or therapy or all these different things that kind of the conditioning that I grew up with made me see the world. So totally understand any of those thoughts. But ultimately, those are projections, and those have way more to do with the people making those statements than me. So it doesn't stick to me, it doesn't bother me. It just gives me more love and I think empathy for those people. I think we all could use a dose of turn our phone off once in a while and unplugging from society. Some people don't want to do a few days and nights in darkness. That's fine. But to just out and out judge it like you have any understanding of it, not exactly the way for us to come together as a society and connect better as people who come from all different walks of life and backgrounds and parts of the country and parts of the world. And we're all just trying to do our best on our journey. For me, this is the things that work for me. I've done many similar things to this. I haven't done this specific darkness retreat, but I've done many meditation retreats and yoga retreats and things that have stimulated my mind and helped me get in a better headspace and have a greater peace in my life. And I think that should be, it doesn't have to be championed, but it's closer to being champion, I think, than being just ripped apart and judged. I think is probably a better way to view it.
First wave, judgment, and then there was a second wave of people going should we be judging this guy on how he wants to find his own happiness? Life is hard enough for everybody. I mean, I know he has a lot of money, but I feel like there was a lot of support in the second wave of people that maybe don't have, the courage to do a darkness retreat, which I think is it's a high level of meditation, right? I mean, this is not that there's tiers of this, but I've learned a lot about this. I think the world has learned a lot about this since you brought it up. This darkness retreat, I've read into it. I've watched a couple of videos of people that have done it. Hey, this is right? I mean, this is a pretty high level. Not a lot of people who are even into meditation can accomplish this, right? This is a big deal in the meditation world, I think.
Well, I mean, it's just wrapping your head around the silence and dealing with your thoughts and everything that comes with the isolation and the darkness. I mean,
there's no way I could do it. I texted you yesterday. I said, do you have a game plan going into this? Because I've been reading up on it as much as possible, and I'm not judging you. Hey, I got friends that do a lot of stuff to try to find happiness and do whatever you got to do. I hope you enjoy your time on life. Whatever you need to find yourself, or if you need to want to try or learn something about yourself, do whatever you got to do. So I've never been judgmental. I've just always thought of myself in there, and I can't do it. Obviously, I'm not a human that would be able to accomplish that. Are you going in with a game plan? And after watching that guy do it on the internet, he said it was the greatest thing he's ever accomplished in his life. And he was a high ADD, high DHD guy like me. So it was I almost pivoted a little bit after watching that guy. I'm sensory overload is a real thing. Do you have a game plan? How much have you looked into it? Do you know what to expect? Have you seen where you're going to be in and everything like that?
Well, like most things, I really like to do a lot of research on them and try and get the whole picture before I kind of dive in or feel strongly about something. So I've talked to a lot of people who've done it. I've watched a lot of firsthand testimonials about it, and so I'm excited about it. And listen, it doesn't make anybody any better for the ability to do something like this. There's no hierarchy in my view of spirituality or meditation or mindfulness. It's we're all trying to do our best on the path that we're on, and the beauty in this retreat is there's an open door. So if at any time you're like, you know what, I can't take this shit anymore, like you walk out the door.
There's a light switch in there too, I think.
I believe there's some light switches too. So
it's like sitting right there. You're sleeping. I think. I don't know the exact one. I saw a couple different ones. You're sleeping, and there's with a light switch right here. Like temptation is sitting right over your head almost at all times. It's like, as I was watching our video, I'm like, oh, as soon as I wake up and I bump my foot into the bathtub, I'm like, where the fuck? I'm turning on the light. You know what I mean? Like immediately.
And that's fine. Then you do it. It's literally, if you want to do that, then you do that.
Yeah,
I think that's the beauty in it.
Yeah, but it's dark.
Do you have to come out though? Then do they somehow does an alarm go off and you
No, you can come out. You can go back in if you want. I think the design is to sit in those tough moments.
Filming you?
In any adversity in life, I think a lot of the growth is. I don't know what AJ just said. It must have been pretty good.
Yeah. Are they filming you? Yeah. Obviously,
they got to monitor you, man. Honestly, where's that footage go? I know you're very paranoid. Are you worried about that?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not worried about the footage that's coming from this, buddy.
Okay.
4 days in there, it might get weird.
How many times are you going to say, I was born in the dark? You know what I mean? Like I'd probably get on. You're going to sing in there? You think about singing it? You're just
can't wait.
You're just taking whatever.
Just wait for the videos.
What is it? Closed circuit? They have to keep an eye on you. I assume that's probably a good call because anything could happen.
Yeah. Two-way mirror.
Yeah, we'll definitely make some of the videos available to your crowd, to your audience.
Really?
You can hear all the singing and the interpretive dance and the animal noises and everything else.
Are you going to be doing a Wim Hof in there? Are you going to be doing that in there? A little yoga? I seen the guy that I was watching was doing downward dog a lot of stretching in there. Are you really filming this all?
Possibly.
Oh, shit. Okay. Because I think you would want to film it, right? Because the thoughts that you're going through, you maybe want to remember them and remind yourself of them and speak, right?
The toilet's right out in the open, though. Isn't the toilet right in the middle of the room?
It's in the middle of the room, yeah. Yes. That's some of the best footage, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, if you go in there with a heavy laxative, you can get a lot of cleansing done, I think.
I'm excited, sir. So are you going in there, obviously you're thinking about football still, right? Football as a whole, life as a whole. What is like the overall thought? Is it for life? Is it for the football decision? Because obviously you said, I didn't say I was going in there and then I know exactly what I'm going to do, but I assume that's going to come up in conversation with yourself in there. Is there a plan of it, what you're going to, like for instance, I'm going to Hawaii next week or in a couple days.
Yeah.
No big deal. Can't wait to get there. Throwing shakas all over the place over there. Fucking love ya, hell yeah. Aloha, hell yeah.
Much mana
oos, hell yeah. I'm doing all. I can't wait to get out there. I have a plan. I plan on just staring at the ocean. I need light, but I'll stare at the ocean. I think the whales will come do their thing. I don't know if they're fucking or giving birth, but they will be there doing it. And I just stare out there, and I have like a mind, like, all right, I need to think about this. I need to figure this out, and I need to figure this out. Not saying I'm doing them in order, but those are 3 topics that I'm kind of going out there, like trying to figure out as I get lost in there. Do you have that mindset as you're going in there, or is it just we'll kind of see where the brain goes whenever you get in?
I think it's more of a surrender to the whatever thoughts come through. I think part of it in some of my favorite meditations have been how can I slow the mind down? And as I slow the mind down, then really the desires of my heart can kind of come to mind. Anytime I've gone into a meditation retreat or a medicine ceremony or something with a clear intention, this is going to happen, I'm going to call this in and I'm going to do this and answer this question, it never happens like that. It just doesn't happen. I think the healing and the best medicine is going in, surrender to the process. Okay, I'm going to be here 4 days. I'm going to eat once a day. I'm going to rest and try and find the deepest amount of rest and relaxation. And when I do, then I'm trusting that the right messages and intuition will come through.
That's awesome. Well, good luck in there. Hey, good luck in there, dude.
Look at him, Aaron.
AQ has a question for you, Aaron.
Hey,
I
Aaron.
see AQ at the desk, man. That's big time, buddy.
That a baby AQ.
Moving up.
Hey,
moving up.
that baby AQ.
Hey, when you do, so with the plant medicine and also this darkness thing, is there a part of you, one, that ever gets scared that there could be negative effects coming out of this? And are you scared of anything?
Great questions. Great questions.
That a baby AQ.
Let's go, Al.
I think there's naturally some fear that comes up for any of this, fear of the unknown, but not really fear of the process. There's a lot of trust in the medicine space. I don't go into the medicine space blind at all. Like, I go in with the highest quality maestros and maestras and the highest quality facilitation so that the experience can have the greatest chance to be a positive. There's, I think, fears that we always have to get through of the unknown, but the surrender, I believe, allows you to, whatever needs to come through can come through. When it comes to fears, I have two main ones just in life. One is heights. I've always been afraid of heights. And the other is sharks.
Sharks are scary.
Yeah.
Let's talk about heights. It's not really the height, right? It's the fall.
It's the urge to jump.
Yeah. Why does that happen? Why do humans have that? Why? What is our problem?
I don't know. It's really weird, but it happens. And I've been on top of the Empire State Building when we came to New York in 2005 for the draft process. We came for a few days early, and we went to the Empire. Everybody was juiced on that, and I was terrified. One of the most terrified I've ever been in my life was we were in Detroit playing the Lions, and the night before we were staying at this hotel that's right on the water, and it has like a restaurant on the 72nd floor, and the elevator is on the outside of the building.
Oh, no
so
way.
After you get up about 5 floors, you're on the outside of the building, and literally like the ground is right down there. I mean, whole body sweats. Whole body.
Hey, that's good. That's hometown advantage right there.
Definitely.
Make sure the only hotel the team can stay in has a nightmare to get from floor to floor on the outside of it. That's Have you ever skydived or anything like that?
No, I'd like to. I really would. I did Shark Week a few years ago. And
White
was in
male.
the water with
Makes sense.
a really big blue shark. It was like 11-foot blue shark, and I actually touched it on its nose.
Is it one of those like drugged up ones, or is this out in the middle of the ocean?
No, this was a wild one.
Xanax.
This was definitely a wild one.
Don't they? What do? They feed them a bunch of food beforehand, get them
Yep.
all like Thanksgiving dinner.
Get them all doped up. Yeah, they're zombies.
Thanksgiving dinner, and then you go, oh, look at me, I'm riding a shark. And then it's like obviously a white person because it's Shark Week. Every 30 minutes, new group of white people hopping into shark-infested waters. We're watching, hoping one of them gets attacked. Inevitably, they don't, and then we move on to next Shark Week, right? That's what Shark Week is?
Bingo.
Nailed
I
it.
think so. I think so.
It was always on during training camp. It was always on during training camp, and I don't sleep well, let alone when I'm in like a dorm room. So I was watching just like 4 hours straight every night of Shark Week, and it was like, here we go. These are the guys that are going to die. I think this is the guy. These are the guys that are going to go out there. That's awesome. You're afraid of sharks?
Never happens, though. Huh? Never happens.
Nah,
They always make-
Poopy's got bit. Poopy's got a bad hand injury. I don't
true.
know if you saw that or not.
Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, quick question here. Speaking of fear, you're talking about all of this stuff at heights. What are we doing? What's going on? What do we keep shooting down in the sky? What's happening in America? I would assume you have an opinion on this situation.
Yeah, and you said something about the unknown there, and I immediately thought like, oh, the things are flying over Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think. The unknown.
Well, there's been a lot of disclosure recently. There's a lot of old papers and files and different things about interactions that Navy pilots have had, especially Navy pilots, I believe, with unidentified flying objects. So this is not surprising. Obviously, there was some sort of Chinese spy balloon that was up in the air,
lasers,
allegedly, and there's been a few other objects that have been shot down. I believe that this has been going on for a long time. Interesting timing on everything. There's a lot of other things going on in the world.
What?
Like what?
Well, you're saying you're saying, oh, looky here. Is that what you just said? Bang. That's what you said?
Could be some of that, yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
No, of course not.
Did you hear about Ohio, bro? Did you hear about Ohio, East Palestine?
What's going on now?
Dude.
They blew up that thing and the fish and everything died?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds like you know. Yeah, sounds like you've read up on it. Yeah, I don't know what blew up, how it blew up. It was on fire for I guess like 20 melees before it ended up derailing and go. There's some wild shit going on right now, Aaron.
Did you hear about the Epstein client list about to be released too?
Whoa, allegedly, yeah. I assume we have to say because I'm getting sued by a guy that used to be a starting quarterback in which you were a backup quarterback. But what's that? What are you talking about?
There's some files that have some names on it that might be getting released pretty soon.
Oh,
are you on there?
Look out, AJ.
Maxwell was the only person ever convicted of trafficking, and nobody who was involved in the trafficking ever went to jail. So nothing to see here.
No, nothing. Look, there's UFOs flying over. We just shot them down.
Johnny Depp trial.
Hey, that'll help. That'll do that whole thing. That's what you're saying, obviously. I'm excited to see how this whole thing.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on right now.
Hold on. Think about you. Okay. Let me do this real quick. I'll give a visual thing here. Can you go to the wide shot, please? Okay, so this thing isn't. Let me get these lights. So there's a chance. All right. Can you go to 0 on Zito? Can you go to 0 on Jim light? Here, whenever I do this, right? 3. Here's you. Okay, you go into the darkness. You're into the darkness out here. See, they're probably gonna have to zoom out. Here you are. Okay. Holy shit! Touching your toes, doing that whole thing, sleeping, bopping, probably a lot of bopping.
A lot of it.
4 days pass. Okay, you come back out here. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, Aaron, we met our first 4 aliens.
Yes.
There was this happened. The Epstein list came out. Like, are you ready for that? Is that potentially what you're going to be thinking about while you're in the darkness? Like, what is going on in the real world right now? Because you're in a time where shit's happening that has never happened before. Have you thought about that at all, potentially changing your life?
I mean, that is an exciting thing to unplug for that long. And then
craziest time to unplug, I think. I guess when COVID started, that would have been.
Every time in history, there's eras that are more exciting than others. Or there's a lot going on in the world. It's very unstable in many ways. It's unstable in the country, and there was a shooting right last night.
Yeah, sad.
Unfortunately, there's stuff going on in the skies. There's politics is an absolute, sham, but it's also a mess. Of course. So there's a lot going on, and my story in my darkness pales in comparison to what's going on in the world, and I enjoy that. In this little tiny world, that people have an interest in some of the things that I do. And
dude, when you come out of that, I'm excited for the briefing that you get. Like, all right, here's the deal. We are in World War III. Okay? Mm-hmm. You cannot go back to Green Bay. All airspace has been shut down from here to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Malibu, you can't get there either. You're gonna have to walk. This is The Last of Us. I don't know if you've seen that before you got in. You're gonna have to walk it. Like, that would be just coming from like the most peaceful place of all time, the most enlightening place of all time. Oh, that was amazing. All right, let me come out of here. What's going on? Here's a helmet. Here's an AK. We are in war. Good luck out there. That is
I'm doing 4 days, and I know somebody that did 30. So that's a real thing. You come out after 30 days. It's like being in a coma. Like, what happened? What did I miss?
Hold on. 30? I didn't know that was even possible, because old cuz that I saw did 5 days. I saw an 8-day one. I didn't know there's a 30-day isolation go in the hole. That happens?
30.
That's a hard time. Like,
Yeah.
people get that in jail. It's like they're treating this guy cruel and unusual,
A month of prison.
and they're my God.
But the guy in the what's the movie with Jamie Foxx and Butler
Law
when he
Abiding
wanted to
Citizen.
go in the hole and
yeah.
then he got out and was still killing people.
Yeah, that
The
was
Brain.
sick. dude.
Excellent film.
Great movie.
How about that little robot thing? The little
With the turret on it.
on
and the
in
missile.
the
in the
cemetery.
cemetery, yeah.
Ooh, the robot turret like in The Jackal, one of AJ's favorite movies with Richard Gere.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah,
Richard Gere is
Have I
his
seen
favorite.
that? Why do you bring up Richard Gere?
Because you're
That's
best
your
friends.
favorite actor.
he's
very
one of your
famous
favorite actors.
He's a great actor. What are you saying about him?
What else do you know about him, AJ?
That he's been a great actor for the last 5 decades, probably.
Where else has he been?
I don't know, all over the world. He's traveled the world because he's a superstar.
But why would Aaron just bring up a movie that had Richard Gere
Great
in it
question.
to you? You think to you most?
I have no. You think he doesn't understand his own brain? How's he going to understand what he's saying to me? Come on now. Let's get real.
Connor has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, before you go into the darkness, do you want to like go over some of your favorite things, like, favorite color, favorite book, favorite vaccine, favorite movie, favorite, football team, maybe just kind of go through some of these things so when you come out after the darkness, maybe we can see what has changed per se?
Smart. That's a good question.
Yeah,
Favorite
great idea.
song.
Great
Baseline
idea.
test.
All right.
Yeah,
Pre-darkness.
Gotta do a baseline,
Pre-darkness. Okay.
for sure. Pre-post. Yep.
Favorite band.
Hootie.
Favorite band?
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand. Does that count?
Okay. Barbara Streisand. All right. Favorite food.
Cauliflower.
Are you vegan?
Really?
What?
Are you a vegan?
No,
What if he comes out? What if you come out
Could-
and you're a vegan?
Yeah.
Have you thought about that?
not gonna happen.
You never know.
I think there's a chance. Isn't that what we're going in there for? Like to have deep change? No?
To be a vegan? No.
No, not to be a vegan, but to have like super deep thoughts, right? Isn't that what you're going to go in there for? Do you think you're
No,
going to have?
I like to eat animals. Yeah, that are taken care of very nicely and kindly and
Live a long life.
humanely.
Okay.
Yes.
Likes to eat animals.
Greener pasture chicken.
Okay. How many hours a night do you sleep roughly? You had to guess.
7.
7 hours. Are you on a like what Mark Wahlberg did? He wakes up 2:30.
Yep, strict regimen.
Plays 18 holes, works out,
Prayer
plays 9
time.
holes, prays, wakes the kids up. You lazy fucks.
Yes.
I've already been up. I've already played 27 holes. What are you doing? Takes them to school, prays, eats breakfast, works out again, has pre-brunch with the wife.
Work meetings.
Boom. And then The Rock, like same thing. Up at 4, lifting for 4 hours, waking everybody else up in the house.
Ooze
then
time.
Doing his whole, thinking of a new product that he can sell and make $1 billion. Are you one of those very regimented humans?
No, I mean AJ tried to get me on the the Russell Wilson plan that he heard when he talked to Russ a few years back.
God's
about like it was like up at was it 4:30 or 5 I think. This is when he was still playing, and like he was watching the film before he woke up. He got on the Versa and woke up Laura and kids and stuff. But I listen. I want to wake up with a 6 on the clock and go to bed with 11 on the clock.
Okay. So we are a little regimented.
11, bro.
Oh, let's make a wish. I wish you success in the darkness. All right. Good luck out there, man.
Thanks, bro. Where's Foxy? What's he doing?
Foxy, so we
Did
weren't
he get fired finally?
No. Foxy will never get fired. Foxy knows that. Well, wait. Could. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years? You know what I mean? There's
True.
Hopefully we'll always just be kumbaya, everybody in this building. That'd be sweet if we could just bottle it and be like this forever, but maybe not realistic. Foxy will never get fired, though. I will say that. He has that leverage over me for now. But we weren't going to have a show Tuesday. I wasn't leaving until tomorrow. You said, hey, let's do another Aaron Rodgers. I said, hell yeah, why not? You're going in the darkness, got nothing to do. Some of the boys here, some of the boys are not. No big deal. Just kept it moving. So Ty, he's out and about. Wait till you see Tone when he gets back.
Whole new tone.
Tone's going to be a whole new Tone when he comes back, I think.
Is he getting that lap band surgery?
He's doing a darkness retreat.
Tone, you look good.
You look great, Tone.
Tone, you look good.
That was fucked up.
What is Tone doing?
No, I don't want to. I'm not giving away.
You said he's doing a whole new. What did he get a nose job?
Just wait. You'll see. Maybe.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing
That'd
those.
be cool.
Wait till you see. You'll be a whole new guy. Foxy's going to get more handsome somehow, but it's going to be nice to check out, man. It is. Darkness retreat, and then what? Immediately home?
Yeah. Yeah, for a few days, and then a weekend trip, and then it'll be just about March, I guess, March 1st.
Hey, quick!
I
I have a few housekeeping questions before we might ask about the future of what you do in football. You got to go? Yeah. What do you have?
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, and I'm serious here. You're going to think I'm joking. What if you have to take a leak? And how do you not piss all over the room? You got to reach down and find the toilet seat and rub it with your hands. Like, honestly, that stuff, all those little things like that, is that stuff you're supposed to work through? Have you talked to people in the past about this?
How do you piss?
Before you turn the lights off, you get a good mental image of the room, and make sure you know where the pisser is and where the bathtub is, and where the food comes in, and
do they limit your water use at all?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah, you have a good recall. I think that's a good deal.
Great
right?
recall.
That's good
Great
for
recall.
you going in.
What else? They're just brimming with questions about this.
Now, more might pop up, but I'll let the boys go if they have stuff. I'm sure AQ has something else.
I think it's a bath in there too, right? Not a shower?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, is the water just always in it, or how do you know?
I think you just run the bath like a normal bath, and then drain it at the end.
What about poop? Are you taking a bath after every poop?
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a big part. Being able to see is a big part.
The only weird thing, though, is it not weird though to take a shit and then take a bath?
You got to
and
bird.
You're kind of like you're sitting in.
No,
in
you got to
shit
bird
bath.
bath it, dude. You got to do the. You got to go.
Like the bidet.
Yeah.
The bidet.
Yeah, I think you got to do one of those. Got a bird bath in there because it's going to be tough. You're just going to wipe until that thing's raw, I guess, because
So you're bleeding.
not
You're
going
not
to
gonna be able to see it. You're not gonna be able to see it. You know, you see the little red in the toilet paper, then you know you're done. You're not gonna see
By
that.
smell.
one meal a day though. Maybe not that.
Less dumps.
Yeah, the
Listen,
first
bring
dump's the
some
toughest one, I think. The first dump's going to be the toughest one, both because you're getting used to it, and it's the real dump from pre-darkness food as opposed to the darkness food.
And that toilet paper's got to suck too.
Yeah, but no, it's going to get no. It's probably really. That's probably triple ply, I assume. They probably got some real.
Some leaves.
They got some real tender.
It's probably single, to be honest.
Boom.
Really.
It's probably single.
Bring wet wipes.
Well, let's stack that thing up. Make sure you're 4 or 5 deep because you don't want to be
Exactly.
because then you got poop on your fingernail.
And then
Poop on your fingernail, and we don't need that because then that's a whole. AQ has a question for you. I'm so sorry. Jeez Louise.
You said you do all the research on this. Okay, so whenever you come out of this, how long does it take your eyes to readjust to the world?
It takes a few hours usually. It's different for everybody, but it takes a few hours for sure. There's some integration afterwards with the people that run the retreat center. So you're really easing back. You're not turn your phone back on, go right back in the real world. It's probably 8 to 10 hours of kind of readjusting back to the light. Your eyes takes, for most people, it's about 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, so you're 104 hours if you count that 8-hour post game. Mm-hmm. Okay, so obviously, right? I think that does the math.
Yeah, that
4
adds up.
times
24,
96, 8, 104. 104 hours. I'm excited to see what you come out like on the other side of that. We appreciate the hell out of you this season, man. It has been a blast this year. Obviously, much different than the past 2 years. You showed up every single week, sat in the pocket when a lot of shit was being said about you. We appreciate the hell out of you, and we apologize for potentially being a platform that has got you into some stuff. Most specifically, darkness retreat conversations of dates and times and things like that. But we love and appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Listen, I appreciate you guys so much, and even the boys that aren't here. It's been fun every single week. It's a great opportunity to share my thoughts on Tuesdays before the Wednesdays come around during the season, and I really enjoy it. I think we've created a interview style that other people are trying to copy, and I think that's a lot to be said for that. Because there's some rawness to it. It's not the bullshit, the robotic, same standardization of answers that people do. And you've seen some other people probably try and do some similar stuff, which I think is the greatest compliment that they can give us, right? So kudos to you, Pat, to everything that you do, the way you take care of your boys. Obviously, I love my brother AJ, and he says so much shit that is literally an inside joke that 99.9% of the people have no idea that he's hitting me in some triggering spots. But I appreciate the hell out of you, Age, and it's been a lot of fun. So I really do appreciate the opportunity. We've definitely got ourselves in some hot water, but I think we've always tried to, tried to speak honestly, and
we certainly have.
And I appreciate the opportunity to be on here every single week. Again, I have no animosity towards Ian or Adam or anybody trying to do their job, but I'm here to set the record straight when they fall a little short. And all I can say to those guys is, when it comes to me, just either ask me,
which impossible, they don't have their number, yeah.
Or ask somebody who actually knows if you really, really need something. And if somebody tells you, they're probably not in the inner circle. So you can put that all together.
Shout out to that, whoever that was, just got dunked on at the beginning of this thing and at the end of this thing. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, so are you saying, can we count on talking to you next year on Tuesdays on your off day when you're playing for the Packers?
Oh, great question, AJ.
Listen, I would love to continue with it. It's a lot of fun for me, regardless of what I decide to do. I would love to continue to talk to you guys in some capacity, but we'll kind of meet that bridge when we get there.
Hell yeah. That's a great way to get out of not answering that, because AJ did frame that pretty perfectly. Even added at the end for the Packers too. Even got those. Remember, Colts got a new offensive minded head coach. Whenever you go into the darkness, the Jets already looking in. Obviously, when you go into the darkness, Raiders obviously looking in. But Green Bay, hey, home sweet home. We can't thank you enough, Aaron. You're the fucking greatest, pal.
18 years, man.
It's a long time.
That's always going to be home.
Buying cigs and stuff.
A lot of cigs.
Lottery tickets and stuff.
What?
You know what I mean? 18 years is a long, long time in one place. Will you continue to play football? Will you play for the Packers? Will you go elsewhere? We will continue to ask as you go and experience the darkness retreat starting on Thursday. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron.
Hey, hold on. That's not correct. It's not Thursday.
Okay.
Okay? So let's just not spread misinformation.
Okay, all right, sweet.
It's not Monday to Thursday. It's not starting Thursday. Okay?
Okay, Wednesday. Hey,
yeah.
Not starting Wednesday either. This is an end of the week thing. So
Okay.
that's all I'm going to say about it.
Saturday, we're going in. Saturday. Friday.
Let's just not spread any more fake news, okay?
Okay, you got it.
Let's stay,
Sounds like Friday.
And again, hey, you have fun wherever you're going. I know where you're going, but I'm not going to put you on blast.
Thank you.
AJ, you get back to being a dad for once.
One time.
And everybody else, thank you guys. Connor, AQ, Ty, wherever you're at, Tone, all the boys in the back. Appreciate you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
We appreciate you. We love you, man. Good luck in there, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron!
So I think it's Friday, maybe?
What'd you learn?
Friday.
I think I learned it's Friday or Saturday. What did you learn?
Yeah, sounds like a weekend thing.
No, he said end of week thing.
Yes.
What if he messed up and he actually booked himself like it's some dude? It's like he shows up and it's some meth head with a trailer. He's like, "Here's your room, bud."
Hey, it's going to be dark in there. They told me I put the dark duct tape on there.
Got the dark curtains.
Everything. Now, we can't hit the button. You're going to have to close it yourself. But they say pitch black whenever you close that thing. They promised me. You're my first guest. And so
This is awesome.
That'd be awesome. That would be.
How about how much research he's probably done? Remember, whenever the COVID vaccine conversation around Aaron started, he came on the show. The first time it came up on the show, he said he had a 500-page report.
That's right.
That he had done with doctors, and then he also added in there Joe Rogan was a part of it. Everybody forgot about the doctors being said. All they said was, this guy's got Joe Rogan writing him a 500-page report. He was like, well, he also said doctors and other people helped him out. But whenever he showed up with a 500-page report, and then remember, he did a full.
Oh yeah.
He had slides.
Yeah, he had like a 50-slide PowerPoint.
And people were like, you weren't asking enough questions.
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't
like,
know.
What the fuck? You think, excuse me, you think I have a 500-page fucking report on how these vaccines respond to bodies? Absolutely. I assume he knows exactly what he's walking into with this darkness retreat.
Yes.
And I am excited to see how he comes out on the other side and how he wipes his butt.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
I hope he brings one.
I mean, all of those things I feel like are of equal importance. Like, how does all this happen?
Yeah, because if you got a bad case of monkey butt, you're
Bingo.
probably going to want to get out of there.
Yeah, and you got single-ply TP.
Can you request things like, hey, can I get some mouthwash or something? Like
A
how's it
rider.
work? Toothbrush. Yeah, does he have a rider? He might.
I need M&Ms. They're back, I guess. They were gone.
Yeah, they're back. It was
gone?
kind of like one of the Peanut situations where they kill Mr. Peanut before the Super Bowl commercial, bring back Baby Peanut. Remember Baby Nut?
Yeah, I do remember Baby.
Yeah, I think that's what they were doing, the M&Ms.
That was a weird. I didn't understand the M&M commercial. We're back. I'm like, fuck. Were you guys gone?
Yeah, he killed
Yeah,
them.
they canceled them.
M&M's got canceled.
Yeah.
Just as a whole.
Wait,
No, just
The mascots.
the faces of
The
it,
actual
yeah.
M&Ms.
Yes. With the shoes and the arms and the commercials.
what'd they do?
Why
What
did they
happened?
cancel?
What
They-
they say?
Well,
canceled
They
What'd they
didn't get
represent?
vaccinated.
They said something
Had
about
something to
white
do-
chocolate.
Yeah, it had something to do with their sexy shoes they were wearing. Tried to normalize. Everybody has to wear the same
Is
shoe.
this serious? Are they real? Is
the
this a real thing?
M&Ms were canceled.
Yes. This is real.
Are you guys being serious?
I don't know if this is real life. I hate it.
AQ
This
was
is
just
real.
banging his head off the microphone. Well, they're back. So they, I guess, in the big 113 million people saw that they're back. So he came and danced in the face of cancellation. I
Oh,
guess. Good luck to the M&Ms remaining back, I guess.
Will Ferrell's back.
Will Ferrell crushed it in that commercial.
Crushed.
That was some of the funniest shit Will Ferrell's been a part of a long time. We also think he probably has a Netflix deal coming out.
Bingo.
Because all of the things that he was doing was all part of their Netflix family. Seems like he's got his fastball back.
Yeah, and he just had that movie on Apple TV. So he also had a show on Apple
Spirit?
TV, Spirited with Ryan Reynolds.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, my kids.
Loved it?
It's like a
like a
play
musical.
on Christmas Carol, right?
Yeah,
I think
A
it's a play
Nightmare
on
Before
Carol.
Christmas. or whatever.
Stooge or Scrooge?
Bingo.
Yeah.
He's Scrooge?
No, Ryan Reynolds, I believe,
Reynolds.
is Scrooge, and he's the ghost. That's, hey, come on, Ryan.
Christmas past.
Enjoy Christmas.
Bingo, yeah. And then
Enjoy life.
He had a show with Paul Rudd, too.
AJ, what you learned from that convo?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we learned that. What's he saying? You don't know nobody knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah,
So
he
don't
dunked.
don't act like you do.
Hey, he took a shot at somebody.
Yeah.
Couple times in there. AJ, do you know who that was that he was taking a shot at?
No, I think the media as a whole, but I'm saying as like
No.
I don't know if whatever the source that Ian has, that's
The
who
inner
I'm curious
circle.
as to who that would be.
That's the person that I think was getting dunked on there.
I don't think he knows who that would be right now.
Yeah, but he's probably just assuming like Ian had to have had a source, right? Ian said, I trust my source. I like
Yeah,
my
but he's
source.
saying whoever your source is doesn't know me, doesn't know
Mark.
anything of what I'm doing.
So
It's a
that
mark.
person knows, though. That person just
That
got dunked
person.
on right now.
Yeah, and then is Ian calling that person like, hey man, I doubled down on this.
Yeah, and then Ian's like, I don't know if you heard, you fucking loser. You are not in the circle anymore. There's an
Sorry.
by the way, I'm not in the inner circle either. I didn't get the.
No.
I was trying to get which day we were going in there.
Honestly,
Got to be
it helps
Friday or
right.
Saturday.
Got to
right?
be Friday or Saturday. Just by the way,
Sunday starts the new week, end of the week. He said it wasn't Thursday. We got 2 options left.
has
Does
to
it
be
matter?
No, it doesn't matter. But it was like kind of a hilarious thing there at the end. Like,
Guessing.
can we figure out the day? So whenever you lead with Thursday, and he goes, nah, shut up. Don't be doing this misinformation. It's like, oh.
What's after?
We have breaking news. We have breaking news in the NFL world. Let's pivot away from the darkness retreat into the desert. The Arizona Cardinals have hired Gannon Gannon as their head coach for this upcoming season. Adam Schefter's reporting Cardinals are finalizing a deal with former Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon to become their new head coach. Sources tell ESPN the last head coach opening of this hiring cycle is being filled. Eagles now are losing both their defensive and offensive coordinators on the same day. The same day happens to be 2 days after the Super Bowl in which they were just dancing in. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have a lot of people that they're going to have to repay or have return and not retire to be able to make a run with a roster. Now they have to fulfill a coaching staff that was incredibly talented and obviously put them in a position to win the goddamn Super Bowl. That's something that's very difficult. Now we have Steichen here in Indianapolis, and Gannon goes down with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Congrats to them. And this is the old adage. When you win, there's enough to go around. It just might not be here. Congrats to Gannon and the Cardinals getting their guy.
Yeah, you become like a product of your own success. Like the Eagles do all this, they do all this great stuff. Yeah, unfortunately they lose in the Super Bowl, but man, replacing your O and D coordinators both in the same year is not an easy thing to do. And Nick Sirianni in his young, second year as a head coach, man, it's a lot to deal with and try to figure out how do we continue this? How do we continue this greatness? Like that's why we talk about all the time. Like consistency in the NFL is very, very difficult to do.
Sirianni's coaching tree is hilarious already.
Oh, yeah.
2 years in. 2 years in, already got a couple head coaches underneath him, and that's a compliment ultimate compliment to Nick Sirianni. And you would think on the offensive side they'd be in a little bit better spot because Sirianni at one point did call plays. Now they were not as fantastic, and that was at the beginning of Jalen's career. So is Jalen a different player? Will he regain the play calling duties, or will he continue to delegate to somebody else? But on the defensive side, that's a whole new staff. No, isn't that a whole new staff that has to come in, or you think they'll just hire from within? I guess we'll find out.
Depends if they hire from. Yeah, if you hire from within, then you could expect them to keep some of the people around, I guess, the position coaches. But a lot of times if a new guy comes in, he may keep one or two, but usually they won't keep the whole staff.
Well, it depends with what they do with the staff at Arizona, right? Because Vance Joseph and them are still there, just like the Colts with the whatever his name is.
Gus Bradley.
There it is.
Vance Joseph 3-4 personnel, Gannon 4-3 personnel. Do they keep Vance Joseph?
Oh.
Do they adjust?
Gannon's going to be calling plays, right, I assume?
You would assume.
Yeah, and I believe the Eagles promoted either an offensive line coach or an offensive coach to OC.
Okay, so they're hiring from within, so we don't have to change the entire system that Jalen has learned, which is good with Sirianni there.
Yeah.
I assume that was a natural fit. Be interested to see what they do on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of names up, too. Cox, Wyatt, Graham, Wyatt, Sue, Wyatt, Joseph, Wyatt,
Hargraves.
Got Reddick. Is Reddick up?
I think he's...
I don't know, Robert Quinn, I believe. Even though
Reddick's
he kind
going to
of
get paid whenever he is.
Yes, definitely going to get paid. I heard a little bit more about his story, Temple,
Matt Rule guy, right? In Temple.
Yeah. I think from, obviously incredibly difficult circumstances growing up.
He's a dog.
Absolute dog. Yeah, he's a hell of a football player. Be excited to see what the Philadelphia Eagles become. And the Philadelphia fans, I assume, just naturally are going to think, we're going to suck. We lose all of our coaches. We lose our players. I have faith in Jalen Hurts and Sirianni. I think they're going to be back in the Super Bowl during their tenure. But congrats to the Cardinals finding their person. Surprising it's not an offensive person with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, a little bit. But from what we heard about their head coaching pattern, right, it kind of makes sense.
What was that, AQ?
Yeah, so that's kind of every time when they went Bruce Arians, they went full tilt the other way defense, go with Wilkes. Then when that doesn't work, they go full tilt the other way to Cliff Kingsbury. When that doesn't work, now we go back to the defense.
I'll be excited to see how it goes because if Kyler has success, that person's going to get a head coaching job, and they're going to have to do that again, get somebody that gets along with Kyler, and let's assume Kyler and Cliff just weren't right, and that's an anomaly of Kyler's situation, and going forward, he'll be able to get along and do whatever he's asked with whatever offense that comes, but that's a real dilemma for a defensive head coach in this modern era of offensive weaponry and quarterbacks being the most important people of all time.
And I doubt this is going to happen, but now that we're talking about it, it is something that it could be good fodder. I mean, we're talking about Justin Fields getting traded. Whole new coaching staff going to Arizona. They have the 3rd overall pick. Is it that absurd to think that Arizona...
They gave him $200 million. You think they'll trade him?
I mean, sure, you lose 1 year, you lose some cap space when the cap's going to 220, but you're at the 3rd overall pick. Does Gannon think that he'll ever have a pick that high again?
Fascinating. Interesting situations brewing everywhere. Chicago, what are they going to do with Justin Fields? Somebody had him going to the Panthers just a couple of days ago. I don't know if we've had this conversation on this show before about Fields again. He was the most electrifying part of the Bears last year. It felt like that was the only thing that all Bears fans were happy about. It's like Justin Fields is going to be a guy. We figured out how he could be a guy. You get the number 1 pick, all of a sudden there's a lot of You know, do you leave your potential for show for Mo? You might end up with no, you know? Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, isn't he the only, not the only, but as far as outside looking in from the Chicago fans, Justin Fields is like the bright light with that team and the offense. Hey, we got this dude. We know the hardest thing to do is find a quarterback. We feel like we found him, or am I wrong? Are they split? Whether they think he's the guy or not.
So Zito's back there. Zito is mad at Justin Fields because he canceled on us.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off at him. I love the guy, but I'm pissed off.
Zito booked that. Zito was the one that booked that. So then when he cancels on us, Zito got all pissed off. But when you were watching him play football, he was electrifying, wasn't he?
It was actually like fun to actually see a player, like offensive player out there, like quarterback wise, actually fucking do what he did out there.
Okay, so we have no idea what will happen with the Bears or the Cardinals, but congrats to all parties getting coaches and guys becoming head coaches today. Lifelong dreams have come true for Shane and Gunnan. And in the end, this tweet from Mari Mirov reminds us the Giants retain offense coordinator Kafka and Wink Martindale. And then the Bengals retain Brian Callahan and Lou Anarumo. The Eagles lose both out of nowhere. So it's a wild coaching cycle. Allegedly, there's calls for the coaching calendar to be adjusted this offseason, which we have been obviously very loud about here because we just put ourselves in the coach's position and in the player's position. The biggest games of the year, and then all I got to hear as a player is that my coach is interviewing for fucking 12 hours with another team that week. Like, give the coaches an opportunity to say, I can't do that. I got to focus on this. It makes all parties look good. And if you get a Zoom deal, you can even fucking promote, like, this team is doing a feeler call with this coach for 15 minutes to see if they want to set up an interview after the Super Bowl presented by Zoom. Like, there is just so many ways to market this and change the NFL calendar. I'm happy to hear that it's coming into fruition, it sounds like.
And on the opposite side, like, how many of those guys who interview with the Colts are like, what a waste of my fucking time that I just had? Whereas if this were to be pushed till after the Super Bowl, you assume maybe there wouldn't be 15, 12-hour interviews with guys that don't end up getting the job.
AJ, what are your thoughts on that?
I'd like possibly. I saw something where they're floating that you can't hire anybody till after the Super Bowl. Is that right?
Yeah, there's be a window.
But those teams that fire their head coach at the end of the season, how many weeks do they have where they know who their guy is, but they can't officially hire him?
I'll tell you what, we fired our coach week 10. We didn't have our head coach till today.
Yeah. So can you start reaching out then? 35
plus days, they said, is how long it took the Colts to find our head coach. It's like, we haven't had a head coach since week 10 or week 11 when Jeff Saturday was named the interim head coach. Now, granted, I think a lot of people thought Jeff Saturday was going to get this gig. I know that Bradley, defense coordinator, still there. He worked with Steichen, I believe, in Los Angeles or with the Chargers if they were in San Diego at the time. And he was allegedly going to be kept around regardless of who was hired. That's why they weren't allowing Gus Bradley to go interview anywhere else. So I think we have the defensive thing still in place. Steichen's going to bring his crew in. Colts win the Super Bowl. I don't know about the Cardinals. Colts win the Super Bowl. Fucking pumped about that.
Congrats.
Jim Irsay said, I like that guy from Alabama, though. That's what, because Chris Ballard said, because Jim Irsay was talking about the draft being at number 4. And he literally, in the video that I watched, he said, number 4, there's a lot of options. Do we stay there? Do we trade up? And, what do we do? And Chris Ballard goes, or trade back or trade back. Chris Ballard actually chimes in from out of camera. Wasn't even in camera. Chris Ballard goes, or we trade back. And Jim goes, this guy loves picks. This guy loves picks. I don't know. That guy from Alabama looks pretty good. So we almost heard in the press conference, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard's conversation that is happening actively behind the scenes right now. Yeah. And a lot of people are saying, Jim Irsay tipped his cap. Jim Irsay tipped. He's the number 4 overall pick. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. Exactly. Right? There ain't nothing that is going to change.
And why not continue to throw stuff out there? He can give 1,000 opinions. It's great. It throws everybody off the scent because we could easily say, I don't know, maybe he's trolling us, and he's in a great spot, I think.
So here's my poker style, and some people very much hate it. Others enjoy the hell out of me being at the table. Okay. I will say what I have very early in the game. I'm showing my cards too. Oh, don't show your cards. These people that are better at poker than you are just going to be able to pick.
After you win the pot, you'll tell them.
No, even if I lose, I will show. Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, not before. You won't show them your hand before the hand is done.
No, but I'll tell them. Unless you got, unless I got trips, right? Unless you got something good, I would be very careful. And some people try to get very quiet. Some people try to be themselves. Not me. I'm like, yo.
That'd be tough. You'd be a tough opponent, I think, because you never know.
Oh, yeah. So then I show it, too. Boom. I wouldn't lie to you. Next time, I'm telling the truth again, probably. I'm telling the truth again. Here we go. I'm mixing up. But then, as the night goes on,
Yeah.
there's just that doubt that creeps in there. And it's like, ugh. When I go, ugh, I think I got it. I think in their head, they're like, this motherfucker, as soon as he sat down, showed me he had it, said he had it. Does he have it like that? Maybe Jim Irsay's doing that too. Jim Irsay might be a great card player right now. We have no idea what Jim Irsay's thinking or saying, but obviously he's getting judged for tipping his hand right now. I would like to go on record as saying, Jim, Bryce Young, I understand he's a Steph Curry and he's very good. I think he's 5'10". There is numerous 6'4" guys that are available right now. 2 of them can run really well and spin it, which Shane Steichen does very well. So I think there is, Chris Ballard sounds like he still has a lot of input in what's going on, and Jim are going to have their convo. Excited to see what the Colts do. Plus 20,000 win Super Bowl, AJ. Plus 20,000.
I mean, plus 20,000. That might. So that you're going to take a flyer. I would imagine though, if you place a bet right now, you're not going to remember next year. Are you?
No, it sits in your active bets. Remember?
It'll sit there so you're good. So it's like a nice, hey, free money. Look at this, I hit.
Yeah. For instance, I bet on the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Put like 1,000 on it, and then. I don't know, by like week 5, they were like, would you like to cash out for $220 or whatever? I'm like,
did you do it?
No, we're fucked. And then it got down to like $50 by the end. Would you like to cash out? I'm like, no, just fuck it. I don't deserve it. I don't. It is sitting there and I'm staring it down. So there's a chance that happens with the Colts next year, but it's for $100,000. So
it's worth a shot, right?
Shit on it. Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, you should go and check out what their odds are to make the playoffs.
All right, relax.
That's probably north of 1,000.
All right, let's get to a break, and then on the other side, we got In the Trenches. We'll also react to the reaction to Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and also everything going on in the coaching cycle. Congrats to 2 men living out their dream, becoming a head coach of an NFL program, and good luck to the Philadelphia Eagles figuring out what they're going to do on the defensive side. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5. They want to play for the Yankees one day, the people I'm playing against. They want to play for the fucking Yankees.
Check out, like, in there, we put a little surprise in there for you.
About to get iced, it feels like. Yeah, I mean, let's start the day, I guess.
What the fuck you get
It's great to be a member of the Washington Wild Things baseball team. We're number 1 in the league, right?
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody else. When I take BP, will there be anybody telling me how to fucking hit? No. Feels like the wind's blowing this way. Yeah. Might have to attack that fence tonight, huh? Hey, you got it! Does the DJ play heaters like this all night? I started hitting 2 days ago. Oh, you'll be fine. I think I figured it out.
You'll probably only face 90 miles an hour at night.
Is that me in the game then? This is a good at bat. This is a good at bat. Oh shit! Oh shit! Give me it!
1-1 pitch.
Let's go!
Line drive. Right
son of a
at
bitch! That came down a lot faster than I thought, though. Let's be honest.
It's deep, and it is off the wall. Field it up.
Excuse me! If you could all get off of my dick, we would be better off. Tell you what, would have been nice to take a nap earlier.
Another throw.
Get back!
First.
You have to tell me when that's happening. You're making me look bad. Hey, Steven, fuck you. Hey, fuck you, Steven. Hey, nice pitch. 149. Does that feel good, Steven? Oh, wow. Wow.
He tosses up the ball.
Wow. Back to being a player now. Making plays. Touchdown. What inning is it?
Top of the second.
Jesus. But it was finally my time to get in that box.
Number 1, the right fielder, the former punter from West Virginia, a former Indianapolis Colt, and a current Barstool Sports personality, Pat McAfee.
The anticipation is real.
Oh, fuck.
Hit out.
I'm in the hole? Son of a bitch, this is about to happen.
And that will bring up Pat McAfee once again.
First pitch from Reynaldo Lopez, swing and a miss by McAfee.
Hey! What was that? And the catcher goes, I had to give you 1.
Looked off speed.
What was that? Then I look at the pitcher, and he's smiling. He's like laughing, like he's toying with me like I'm a child. It all comes down to this. My last at bat. Hey, I'm gonna get on. You bring me home.
This is your life on the line, fucker.
Let me tell you something. You're going to take an L, okay? You're going to take one.
So I think that the close your eyes and swing method is perfect for you.
Oh, this is hardball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Jesus. You have no prayer.
Number 1, right fielder, McAfee.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is the thing.
Let's go!
We now have a returner who they kick the ball away from. That's incredible. I mean, what Keyshawn has done in the short amount of time. But look at this guy. I mean, it's not like being on a kickoff team is tough. He just ran around like 4 guys there, starting the other side of the 50. It's pretty impressive. He had a bunch of great returns. I saw he's had 8 30-plus yard kickoff returns, and we only had 9 like in the last 3 years or something crazy like that. And he's only been doing it for, what, the last 8 or 9 weeks? You probably like that tackle there, didn't you? That's
Yeah.
why
I like the old submarine dive in there by the kicker, but also, did you see, I was just pointing out Bisaccia. Bisaccia's running down the sideline with him.
Can you
Pause.
circle it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right
there
there.
he is.
Right there. And he had been sprinting literally down the whole sideline, and then the pile gets over here, which it's a spark. You know, a big return is like an immediate juice. You guys have never had that. And at the beginning of the year, I don't think the Bisaccia effect had fully taken place. It feels like you're in a good spot now in a phase of the game that you haven't been for what, like decades almost.
Well, I would say the last time you felt really, really good about a returner back there was probably young Randall Cobb. You know, his first game ever, he returned it like 108 for a touchdown. You know, Micah Hyde as well was a good returner for us. I think he returned a couple punts for a touchdown. But kickoff return, man, that's been a long time. It really has. It's been a lot of like, no. Oh. And now it's like, bring it out, Keith. Bring it out. Come on.
Play-by-play legend, Al Michaels.
Yeah!
What's up, man?
You know, I decided to dress for success.
I respect.
I've been working out all week, baby, just to be your doppelganger. And I got to tell you something. You know, I don't know what the future's going to hold next year, but if you got a spot for me, either in the studio or I could play the role of AJ Hawk as well.
We have room for you wherever, whenever. Okay, so let's dive right into it. You know that I exist. This is awesome.
I love this show.
No.
This is everything I dreamed about, right? No holds barred television. None.
How long you been in the game? TV game? I said forever, but I should have done more research. This is 100% on me.
How about 1968? I did the Hawaii Islanders of the Pacific Coast League. Minor League Baseball. Then on to the Cincinnati Reds in 1971. That's 50 freaking years ago. Marty Brenneman succeeded me for the next 44. I did 3 years there, and then I went to San Francisco. The Giants tripled my salary. And that's why. And then ABC for 30 years and NBC for 16. And here we are, man.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Shut the fuck up! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2023. Hour 3 starts now. Love! This is what it's all about. Love is why one man is going into a darkness retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Friday or Saturday.
End of the week. Yep.
Because it's all about love and giving out love and positivity. And it's also all about finding yourself and being the best version you could be of yourself. Ain't that right? Toxic Table at Boston Connor at AQ Shipley.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I wasn't
Little bit of a
excited.
delay by you boys.
Well, I wasn't excited about the tone of AQ.
Mitts here. AJ Hawk.
Hell yeah.
Looking live from an attic in Ohio, right yonder. And hour 3 is about to be the best one yet. We're about to go on a break, AJ. So I don't want to say mail it in, boys, because there is something that has to happen to wrap up this beautiful season, AJ.
Hell yeah.
What could that be? I know there's a big, beautiful man sitting there with a shaved head.
There is, isn't there? There's a big,
don't say.
beautiful, bald man who has kind of shorter arms.
What?
And nobody could have expected him to have any success in a leverage game, in a leverage sport. What did he do? Oh, I don't know. 12 years in the NFL, Super Bowl champion.
More than a decade.
You tell me.
He also coached.
You tell me.
Is that good?
You tell us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for him to tell us what happened in the trenches with AQ Shipley.
We got a mostly Chiefs segment here.
A lot of running.
Oh, well, you
Lot
were
of running.
You were bobbing the Eagles, so all the Chiefs.
I was.
You were, weren't you? Oh, my God. No. No, all the big guys. Your team
Man.
lost. Oh, shit.
Sucks.
I will be the first to say the MVP for this offensive line was the fucking grass.
Whoa. AJ, Orlando Brown was on the program.
Nice guy.
What do you mean, AQ?
Having said that, they played very well. I was very pumped. Listen, they've had 40-something yards rushing in the second round of the playoffs. They had 20-something in the first round. Everybody was like, Andy Reid can't run the ball. They ran the fucking ball, didn't they? You
loved it.
Hey, before we get into this,
Yep.
spend the highlight of my week, guys.
Hey, it's been a
Hell
pleasure.
yeah. Huh?
It's been an honor and a privilege.
All of you guys. This has been unbelievable. I'm sad. But before we get the fuck out of here,
No,
it's about love.
Hold
It's
on.
about love.
AJ, we're sad too, aren't we, AJ?
Yeah, we're all sad with you, AQ. That's why I can't wait to watch this whole In the Trenches. It's going to be unbelievable.
Oh, AJ
AJ
really
wants to hurry it up.
he wants you to get
Hurry
the
it up.
fuck out of town.
No, all right, let's get
Sounds
through
like
it. Let's get through it.
AJ's done with this segment.
Wanted to have a
Jeez.
moment
Hey,
to...
AQ.
Go ahead.
I appreciate AQ sharing his feelings. I agree, AQ. I like you being a little sentimental. It's true. It's a great thing. It sucks that it's ending, but you know what? Let's enjoy it.
You should try it sometime. You're right. Let's not get sad because it's over.
Yeah.
Let's be glad that it happened.
Yeah.
there it is.
And it's
You nailed
currently happening.
You nailed it.
Yeah, and AJ always says, I don't want this to be too much of a suck fest, but yeah, it's been a hell of a year.
Yeah, don't need
There
to
you go,
bop you the
Con,
whole
man.
time. Yeah, I know. You're not a big bopper on other people.
Yeah, we get it.
All right, here we go. Let's dive into it.
Thank
huh?
you. We miss you. We'll
Yeah.
miss you too.
Great year,
Hell of a
AQ.
year out of you,
Thank
AQ.
you. Unreal.
Thank you, guys. No,
Learned a lot.
this has been awesome, seriously. Hey, Philadelphia Eagles line up in a little cub front. We call it a cub front because they're in sub personnel. 5 down with a single backer. We got a safety here. He's usually the nickel in this situation. But check it out. Check out all the eye candy. First of all, Creed Humphrey, one of the baddest dudes in the league right now playing center, right?
Hell yeah.
He's got to get over here.
What?
It's a long way to go.
Between him and Trey Smith, who we talked about earlier on the show, former 6th-round pick, who is a
Dog.
ends up coming here. They got a scoop block on Linval Joseph, one of the best players I ever played against in the middle of the line. And they got to work a scoop. He's got to get underneath and get all the way to here. We get Orlando kicking out. We get Thuney kicking out. We get a nice cutoff on the backside. Check out the eye candy. He's going back. He's going. Look at the DB running with him. Vacates. Knows he's going to do that. Creed bypasses. Goes to CJG. Did I say that right? GJ, CGJ.
GJ.
There it is.
GJ.
And he just erases him, and Pacheco in the open field. I mean,
He's a freak.
look at this. Kick out. Look at this. Look how he gets leverage. He plays backdoor, climbs, and we got a
Big gaping hole.
That's a monster hole in a Super Bowl.
Didn't expect this from the Chiefs, I don't think, going into the season or into the game. Orlando Brown Jr. said we heard all of it. We heard all of it. We heard what AQ was saying about the other offensive
Exactly.
line.
He heard all the bopping that was done on the Eagles' O-line.
A lot of Eagles O-line and D-line bopping
Yeah,
happening.
it was ridiculous.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Chiefs.
AQ, both those guys resetting their respective markets, Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey.
When it comes time, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're both in year 2.
Yeah, same
which
year.
Which is insane.
Yep.
That's an unbelievable O-line draft class. Probably one of the best, if not the best guard in his draft class.
Oh!
Doesn't go till the 6th-round medical issues. He says, fuck it. We're doing this damn thing. No medical issues for me. I'm just becoming one of the best guards in the league.
I mean, look at that.
That's perfect. That's Linval Joseph.
That's a big,
That's no
very
joke.
good football player.
Incredible. Incredible job by those guys all game long.
AJ, they felt disrespected, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess AQ also, the fact that they're going to run against that 8-man box, that takes balls, doesn't it? And obviously that misdirection helps a little bit.
That's the whole key, right? It's the misdirection. It's also a nickel defense. So regardless if there's 8 in the box, if it's 8 and you got 2 of them as safeties, we're still feeling pretty good about life.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, we get a little trap coming. We get a little trap coming in the second quarter. Check this out. Creed comes back, and Dominican tries to beat him up the field. He makes his block easy for him. He gets Sue, just kind of walls him here. We're going to get Big Trey when he pulls. He had a lot in this game. When he pulls with violence, and we are pulling right here. These two are going to bluff the D lineman right here, and they're going to handle both backers. Boom to there. He's going to bluff and get to 57. We don't even need to block him because the trap keeps him wide. That's how this play is blocked. If the field doesn't suck, he might hit his head on the goalpost right here, but he trips. Right there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, in the paint.
On the paint.
Thanks a lot, Sod Father.
Oh, 94 years old, the guy doing the grass.
Yeah, AQ, would you take him out back or what?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I was just asking the question.
The guy did a lot for football.
He did.
I just had
In
such
the
a hard time.
1920s.
It really did. When I watched the coaches tape, it took away from this game because you saw both D lines completely neutralized because they couldn't get out of their stance. When they tried to turn the edge, they just wipe out. It was tough to watch.
AQ, can you explain how big a deal it is for like the D lineman, that first get off, right? Isn't that what they can't really trust their footing there?
Exactly. That's the whole thing. And I'm not even kidding you. I saw Hargraves literally jetted up with his foot back, goes to push off, slides out, and falls on his face. Not just once, numerous times in this game. They all had a play, literally super soft coming out of their stance, and then boom, you get big holes like this.
Hell yeah.
McKinnon, dog.
They did a lot of great.
Another free agent.
Oh, I love this play. First of all, I think they copied this play from San Fran the week before.
Ooh, copycat league.
I think they copied it from
Not a
San
bad
Fran.
idea.
Yeah,
Like
smart.
Whenever you
Good
get
run
this,
game.
whenever you get this play, this is it's really a second option to the counter. Whenever you run the counter, you should be coming to the open side. A lot of teams started doing this year. San Fran had it a lot last week where you get tight end wing to the same side. But what matchup do we hate?
Tight end DN.
Tight end DN. So we're going to bluff him. We're going to get the down block going to here. Our pullers are going to go for here and here because you're pulling 2 guys. And then we're going to get Kelsey bluffing, going to a corner, and he can just ragdoll him if he wanted to. This is awesome. And wait till you see the setup. Watch him bluff. Watch what it does to him. And then watch Big Trey Smith pulling with reckless abandon.
What?
Look at him.
Ooh,
Turns him
uh-oh.
literally.
Oh, geez.
Oh. And then Travis Kelsey blocking tight end.
Blocking.
Just how do they know when they're kind of giving the, hey, let's let this guy score?
Yeah,
is it clear that, like, hey, these guys aren't trying? Just that last wall.
Right there.
Great design, though, is
Soon
what
as
you're
I see
saying,
it.
huh?
Great design. They get him there. And then the wherewithal for McKinnon to get there and slide. People don't realize how big of a play that is. They take a couple kneels. He goes into the end zone. The Eagles have 1:38 left to go win the game.
Yeah, they're aggressive, too. They go for 2.
Zito, great work, bud. I just seen it. Atta baby.
What's up, Z?
Hey, Zito.
Hi, baby Z.
Sorry about that. But anyways, guys dreamt of scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl his whole life. Literally.
You know how many parlays Jerick McKinnon touchdown was in?
Oh, my God.
Millions.
How about old Cuz that landed half inch short there in that first drive before Jalen?
Kenneth Gainwell, yeah.
Oh, my God.
He was like plus 500 to score.
The first touchdown, too. I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, first touchdown, I think he was like plus 3,000.
So this is a heads-up play that isn't always made.
No.
Especially because humans have egos and pride and everything like that. Unbelievable wherewithal from a captain of the team in the biggest moment.
And I think it was Orlando Brown who brought it up, the guy who got dragged into in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Brett Veach brought that up.
Yeah, Brett Veach, yeah. I believe that was Eagles-Patriots. Patriots, I think it was Dante Hightower, drags running back into end zone. Patriots get the ball back down 8. They don't end up winning, obviously.
Sick slide, too. Baseball player for sure.
Pretty wild. And just so we're clear, even if he would have slid into the end zone, it's where you start the slide.
Because you gave yourself up.
Gave
This is the
yourself
quarterback slide thing with the ball because he went out of bounds, too, afterwards. I'm like, oh, they could fuck him, AJ. I thought they might fuck him and like, oh, we'll stop the clock because nobody touched him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just a
That would have been a
little-
tough one. The refs would people would be pretty upset at that one, too, I would imagine.
I think so.
For people watching
Good ref
this year,
Yeah, good thing they got it right there.
Was that the ref that made the holding call? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, how about the discipline to not score right there, right?
That'd be tough to do, man. That's tough to do.
Very
tough. Hey, we heard Orlando Brown talk about this earlier. I love this scheme. First of all, this is like 1942 Navy Army game right
Hell
here.
yeah.
You got to love the fact that Andy Reid, one of the biggest moments of the game, short yardage play, boom, puts it in. Here's what we're going to do. A lot of times when they do this, Mahomes, real quick, looks like he's rolling out, and you get the handoff underneath to Pacheco, and it should be hitting right there. Watch how he plays it, because that's what he thinks is going to happen. He dives down inside, makes the block for the fullback, cuts him, boom. Go back. Look at the game of inches. Look how close these two go when they run into each other. He's pulling for the corner. He's pulling for the linebacker. And when they do this, look how close that is. Now, watch this. Sky Moore coming in, knows it's man coverage. He takes 2 for 1, sets up the block for Thuney. Thuney comes around. This guy comes back. He's already got leverage. There it is. Thuney's block's made.
Rookie.
Sky Moore.
Yeah.
That's a huge block.
Huge. And then there's Trey cleaning up when he comes around on the linebacker. I mean, this is such a well-blocked play and such a big moment in that game.
Great tackle.
AQ, how you like Thuney's sweet right stiff arm right there? It's all he had to get on the dude when he's coming around the edge.
That's
62.
it. That's it.
Joe's genius.
Just long arm him, keep running. Heck, it would have been even cooler. He long arms him right there and goes and gets the safety coming down. How awesome would that have been?
That would have been a hell of a fucking play for a guy that's 300 pounds.
This is Joe's third Super Bowl win as well. Third, yeah. This is
Sky Moore, though.
Dog.
Sky Moore is a rookie. Think of making that block 3rd and 1. He knows the stage he is on. That's
Small.
a huge play. Yeah.
Small, undersized guy. Look at him.
Awesome.
Every good man get 1. Every great man get 2.
Look at the leverage everywhere. Sealed. He's going to get around. Sealed. He gets sealed. Every single person is on the right side of their guy. That is how you win a Super Bowl, my friends.
CJ also was laying the wood. He had that hit on Pacheco earlier in the game that caused Pacheco to, need a second, gain his breath back.
Yeah. What do we got here? Oh, we got this one again.
No, is this the new one?
No, keep going. Should be on to the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Hey, this is the proper last one.
Yeah.
It says the proper last
for
one.
your guys.
With how the year has gone within the trenches and the teams that have been highlighting and the players that we have seen week in, week out on In the Trenches, this is the perfect play to wrap up this season's In the Trenches. Don't you think, AQ?
We would be remiss to not mention what a year Jason Kelce had. Not only what a year, what a career.
Maybe.
If this is his last game that he ever plays. He played out of his fucking mind the entire game. Let's just watch how my man pulls around for number 50, Gay, the linebacker, and doesn't slow down at all as he decleats him moving on to the second level. This is incredible. It's almost like he gets a little more depth right there knowing I got another yard to come downhill. And watch this, right shoulder.
Boom.
Ooh, damn.
Doesn't even slow down. Look at him. He's saying something.
Yeah, he knows. He knows it.
He knows it.
He knows what just
I'm
happened.
locked in.
He knows it.
What a year, huh?
What a year.
What a fucking year by this offensive line. It was fun to watch this group right here.
Really was.
They had I think AQ posted on his social media as well. They had, I think it was Mailata and Dickerson on the left side on a down block.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they took a guy 7 yards back.
Yeah, I mean, the ability that Mailata and Dickerson have on their deuce blocks. We saw it last week with the 49ers. They did the same thing early in the game, which got the Eagles down to the 1 yard line.
Yes, that's what it was.
Before the quarterback sneak from Hurts.
Yeah.
Yep.
AJ, what are you doing there? Ain't nothing you could do about it, huh? Jason Kelce's leverage and speed and ability.
What? Especially when I don't know if he had a good angle or to even see Kelce coming for him. Man, that's just.
You think he potentially thought this was his guy? That guy's blocking
Slide in there.
And honestly,
he thought he was getting underneath it.
Honestly, Dickerson, in a lot of schemes, they're telling Dickerson to take him first color, boom, and then Kelce read off, right?
Yeah.
This is incredible, the trust they have with one another.
Did they use the D-line more to try and neutralize the read option? Because it felt like they didn't really run the read option as much as before. Or
threw the ball a
Yeah,
lot.
I felt like Hurts didn't pull the ball in the read option.
So,
more.
AJ, correct me if you think if I'm wrong on this, but this is what I saw when I watched this film. He took those guys. If you remember last week, right, we were sitting those guys and playing them over the top, right,
Yeah.
the linebackers.
Fred Warner.
This week, Spags was sending these guys downhill to get these guys off their double teams quicker and then playing the safeties on the read options. All his whole goal was how do we stop zones? Penetration. So we get penetration, we get linebackers downhill, downhill, downhill. Even though Kelsey just decleated him right there, we got a bunch of bodies moving this way up the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Bolton's flying too, and they had what Frank Clark is sitting backside for Jalen. If you run it to the top, you'll see he's sitting like his responsibility is, hey, Jalen, if he keeps this thing, we need your big athletic body to take this dude down in the open field.
100%. And then they were handling it with safeties scraping over the top as well.
Yep. Bolton had a hell of a game too, man. Credit to him.
He's so good.
Almost had 2.
He had to stop.
Could have been Super Bowl MVP if they would have given him that one.
Yeah.
I think they give it to Mahomes regardless, but yes, would certainly have an argument for the rest of his life in every conversation he's ever been in.
I mean, you talk about scoring a touchdown, in the Super Bowl for McKinnon. Could you imagine what that's like for a middle linebacker?
Oh, smooth.
And then he skipped up a second one, and then he gets another one. He's like, I just scored 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Hold on, Seattle Seahawks linebacker.
Malcolm Smith.
He was
Smith, yeah.
He was
won.
the MVP, yeah.
He won.
He was the MVP. Yep.
Should we have known then?
Peyton Manning playing that team as well.
Yeah.
First score being a safety, I believe, is plus 20,000.
How about the center?
Snapped
That's a
over
tough
his head.
game for a center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tough game for a center.
110 million probably watching
Snapped it over his head, right?
First
Was
play.
it over his
Best
head?
offense in the history of the NFL that year.
Hey, hell of a run this year, pal. Hell of a run.
Thank you.
Great
Jason.
podcast. Incredible fucking season on the field. You went to a Super Bowl. I heard him mic'd up telling his brother, go celebrate, dude. Because Travis said, I don't even know what to tell you, man. He said, go celebrate. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Every moment was fantastic. And so was In the Trenches this year.
Hell
AJ,
yeah.
would you like to say anything as we wrap up this final In the Trenches of the season?
I mean, I thought we all learned a lot. I know I definitely learned a lot, and I've talked to AQ about this. Like, people don't know much about protections, especially in the NFL. There's so many moving parts. There's so many, like AQ just showed in that thing. Like, they have to trust each other so much. It's really cool because we don't ever see that. No one really talks about, like, high-level O-line play because none of us understand it. So,
yeah, and I feel
thank
like,
you, AQ.
I feel like we're all much smarter this year than we've ever been watching football.
Absolutely.
I feel like other people were watching it as well. Your peers were complimentary, which I know meant more than anything else. But
that was cool.
Hell of a year out of you, Alan.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it, man.
And why don't you do something for the people on your way out?
All right, let's do it.
What are you doing?
You tell me.
What do you want to do?
Oh.
You're staring down the green.
AQ's a good pickleball player, too. People might not realize.
What do you want to do?
I think we're going to throw to the yellow net.
Okay.
There you go, Al.
How many winners, AJ, if AQ Shipley on this final day of the NFL season is able to make that football right there in one of those holes?
13 winners.
Okay, lucky number 13, $500 winners. If AQ Shipley is able to drain this football into any of the holes on that net right over there, more
Should Mitt
specifically,
stab it to him?
Mitt maybe.
Maybe under center or shotgun. whatever he
No,
feels
shotgun
comfortable with.
probably. Mitt knows how to. Mitt's got a good shotgun snap, don't you, Mitt?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a special teams coach. I know a long snap.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Bingo. Born in it.
Hey, you know what, Mitt? Why don't you?
Yeah, long snap that.
Why
son of
don't
a
you
bitch.
go out? Yes.
There it
Baby,
is.
baby tone.
Hey, you should probably go
Keep
wide
going,
on the
keep
on
going.
the front one. Hold on, Mitt. Go out a little bit.
Yeah, there it is.
Get that
Hey.
sweet hair. Show that sweet
Yes.
Did Tone get that lap band surgery
Hold
already?
on. This is not Tone Diggs, and Tone is not doing that, I don't think. But this is Mitt McMahon,
Here we go.
who is a member of the Hammer Down program. If this ball touches the ground, no attempt.
Never.
I think you have to move a little further. I think you have to move a little bit further.
There it is.
There it is. Now we got a good 13 yards
Yeah.
here.
Careful with the hat. This one has to come out straight.
If Mitt can complete a long snap to AQ and then AQ can throw the ball into that net right over there into one of the holes, 13 people, $500 who retweet this, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them officially on Cash App. Guy, hey! Oh, no.
Jeez Louise.
What?
Oh, boy.
All right, you'll get one more opportunity. I think his.
Said he
Your
could long
dad
snap.
is throwing up somewhere right
He's
now.
probably fishing right now. He doesn't even know this is taking place, but
Oh,
he would be
boy.
embarrassed. I think
Sure.
he has been over too long. All the blood rushed to his
Yeah.
fucking head.
Yeah.
Mitt, stand back up, pal. Stand back up. Let's take a breather here.
All right.
This is it.
That was tough.
This is it.
Fire that thing.
Snap that fucker back, Mitt.
Let's go, Mitt.
Fire that fucking pigskin.
Boy.
Hit. Oh,
Good catch.
catches it.
Good catch.
Athlete. Now, if he can make it into a hole, 13 people, $500.
Oh, it looked good.
Jesus
That looked
Christ.
good, though.
It looked
that looked pretty good.
It did. Got 2 more balls down there.
That means 2 more snaps.
It's a good snap, Mitt.
Mitt, this third one has to be Chris. Cause
Ladies and gentlemen, if this snap is completed to AQ and then AQ can put the ball in the hole right over there, 13 people, $500 to retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody and put the cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. Hey, man! Nice snap from
there
Mitt.
It is.
Actually, it was rather ugly, but it got the job done.
Oh,
AQ
that was a dart.
tries to hit the fire.
That's one of the nicest throws you've ever had.
Thing.
Oh, I felt good about that one. First
What
one
a
was
throw.
You ripped. That was on a rope.
First one was a little warm up. Second one, I got the feel.
Last attempt here.
Come on.
If Mitt can snap this ball successfully to AQ Shipley and then he can throw the ball into a hole, 13 people, $500.
Kyler Murray's Caden.
Who retweet this video. Oh, no! It's over.
Jeez.
It's over.
Didn't see it. Audible. False start.
Oh, you got to move up then.
false
He's got to
start.
move
Move
further.
up, Mitt.
You got to move further then.
That might help with this last snap.
Hey, that was your best looking snap, although it was nowhere near. No.
Yeah,
going,
5
keep
yards,
going.
Mitt.
Go
Keep
for it.
going. Other side of the key. Other side of the key.
Here we go. There's the
There we go.
pickleball net sitting in the middle of our Thunderdome pickleball
Oh, boy.
court.
I'm scared for these legs.
Hold on,
It's gonna
AQ
hit
Shipley. If Mitt can complete this 20-yard long snap, and AQ can throw a ball into that net right over there, 15 people, $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put the cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you 50 on Cash App. Said it. What a
Good
snap! Holy hell! AQ Shipley.
Boo.
It's a tough throw.
Fuck.
That was what Mitt said. I don't
Snap
know.
him a basketball.
what an
I
asshole
make you
I am.
drain a 3.
Did you hear? Hey, Mitt, great work,
Good
Mitt.
snap, Mitt. That was your best one.
Nothing you could do, Mitt.
Oh. I thought
All
that
right,
was
Mitt.
in.
I bet AQ could kick that big ball. He's strong enough to knock it off the tee.
How much does that thing weigh?
It's
200 pounds.
It's pretty secure in there with, I believe, Gorilla Glue.
Yep.
I'm not sure you're gonna be able to beat Gorilla.
It's almost a ton.
What a bad showing. Phil, you're welcome.
Shut up, Phil.
How about a couple putts?
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're back in the
There you
game.
go, AQ.
Back in the game.
We're back in the game.
Boom.
Last show before we take a week and a half off. We do apologize for the fact that we're lazy, but we can't wait to reset and refresh. Going into the break, it would only be right if AQ Shipley was to bury 2 of these 5 putts, and 15 people won $500 who retweeted this video, said something nice to somebody, and put the cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. AQ Shipley from about 9 feet.
Oh, it's butter.
Pull hard.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Good aggressive line.
Yeah, he was going for it.
Certainly going for it. Was not going to be short. The Gorilla lines up for number 2.
Oh, man, he missed it right this
Pushes it right. Must go 2 of 3 here.
All right, AQ. Lock in here.
Come on. All right.
Certainly doable.
That's
You've
not
gone
bad.
2 for 2, no problem at all before. AQ Shipley
Oh, geez, you got to hit the ball.
from Moon.
You got to hit the ball.
Now we know what the line is, AQ.
Uh-huh.
AJ, anything to say to AQ here as he's lining up? His body language is not good right now.
It's
Nope.
good. We're back.
No, I think he feels good. He's going to make them both.
Atta baby AQ is going to go 2 for 2 here, and 15 people, $500. There's
There
one.
it is.
Boom. Oh, geez.
Oh, that thing must have hit a rock or something.
That was
my-
such a good
Oh,
line.
my God.
There are no rocks on the green.
Oh, my God.
I do not know how that took place.
Drain this one.
If AQ can make this putt,
Boom, boom.
Yes.
10 people, $500.
Oh, jeez. Who falls short on a 5th putt?
We're all kind of bummed football's over, aren't we?
Yeah,
It's
super
over.
bummed.
That's kind of what we're watching here,
And this is the sport we're on to, basically.
I guess.
Because Masters is the next big event.
Has that come out yet? The Netflix thing?
15th? When's that?
Comes
Tomorrow?
out tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow. 0 for 6,
Over
this
6.
guy. Had to go 2 of 5.
Come back the other way. Drain one the other way.
I
Hey,
don't
why don't
know.
you come all over this thing?
Why don't you go?
What do you want to do here?
What are you doing?
I'm back.
Give us a realistic expectation.
2 out of 3. Going the same spot.
Are you
Okay,
sure?
How many
You
people?
just missed 6.
Yeah, well, those don't matter.
Take it easy.
What you did yesterday doesn't matter today. Your past is your past. Your present is a gift. If AQ can go 2 or 3 here after
Not
missing
even
6
close.
straight,
Not even close.
7 straight. If AQ can go 2 for 2 here after missing 7 straight, 10 people, $500.
That
Who
might be
retweet
it.
this
That
tweet.
might be it.
Say something nice to somebody.
Okay.
And put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. Will there be 10 winners of $500 as we go into the break?
He came up short again.
No, it would have went in.
I don't know.
I just pushed it to the right.
don't
I
know.
stink.
This is brutal.
Where's Mitt? Let Mitt hit a couple.
tough.
Mitch more of a
Tough day.
drive and stick.
I have an
Bruce is a
idea.
new man after pickleball.
What if AQ can score 1 point against Bill in pickleball?
Yes.
Yes. You can't use my paddle.
Nope.
No way.
They're over there.
We didn't
Over
tell him
there.
the rules, though. He doesn't know the rules of Thunderdome pickleball, so now we got to do a full explanation.
I can figure it out. I think I got it.
All right, Bill doesn't know the rules either, I don't think.
All right.
Bill. All right, Bill.
Bill, go get a paddle.
Come on, Bill.
Go get a paddle or a racket or something like that.
That was one of the worst performances on the
Of all time.
on the
All
putting
year,
green
all
year.
time.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk
Listen, I already told you.
Oh, he's got ears in.
My
Still.
mind's in the gutter.
I didn't know
How
he had
come?
ears in.
I want more football.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I think you should. Can we zoom out? Look down?
From that one.
Ooh.
Is that corner camera?
Bill's coming in
I
hot.
don't know. Zito, what are all the cameras we have?
There it is.
That baby, ZD baby. Good find here. Good eye, Connor. All right, so the top of that circle, your arc that you're standing on right there is the back line. The top of the key there is the beginning of the kitchen. And the same thing on it. But foul line, the paint is the width. You
right.
just got to bank on it because the net is not as wide as the
All right.
as the paint. So
Yep.
a lot of gentlemen's rules here.
Come on, Bill.
1 point you got to score. 10 people.
Don't make it easy.
$500 who retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody and put the cash tag in the same reply so we can pay him efficiently on Cash App. Good luck, gentlemen.
Oh no! If he does, if he
Here we go.
if he goes over 2 on the
We have
serve,
faults
sir.
in the
Second, sir.
Thunderdome.
We might have to cancel.
Thunderdome pickleball.
might have-
Yes! That baby AQ, 10 people. $500 to retweet this tweet, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay them officially
Wow.
on Cash App. Sorry to celebrate your loss there, Bill, but congratulations, AQ.
Nice.
You did it.
Way
You had
to
a
go, Al.
successful outcome in a sporting event in the Thunderdome on this February 14th.
It's a great grip.
Proud of you, man. Yeah, we got sent
Gamma.
we got sent a bunch of paddles here, and we can't thank them enough. Also, AJ, we can't thank you enough, bud. Hell of a season out of you.
That boy AJ.
Thank you. It was fun, man. It was fun being out in Phoenix for a week. It was a long time, but it went fast. Obviously, I'm glad we found pickleball. That really helped
Game
bring
changer.
everybody together. I think
I think it's going to help the offseason as well. I think pickleball is going to help the offseason. AJ,
we
you've
could
had.
tape a line on there. Tape some lines on the court.
We will, yeah. We just don't have.
We're waiting on the other half of the net.
Also, we don't have athletic tape just sitting around, which would be the perfect tape for this. And we're leaving today. So
Some gaffers tape.
we're trying to figure out whether or not how much, customization do we want to do this before people are actually putting in lines, I think.
Exactly.
So we just kind of mailed it in a little bit.
You
But
could tape two. You could tape two courts up there, sideways.
So we also got Jabba here, so we got that camera up there, obviously, which is a good wide shot. We got Jabba right here that can face that way and move with the action. I feel like we're going to have pretty solid pickleball content coming out
I agree.
this offseason.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fastest. What do people say? Fastest growing sport right now.
Yeah, lacrosse kind of got cucked there, I believe.
Yeah, lacrosse
kinda
made
got-
it though. That's why.
Cross
'cause-
hasn't even made it to the West Coast.
well, lacrosse is Dippin' Dots. Dippin' Dots was the ice cream of the future, the ice cream of the future, the ice cream of the future. Everybody's still eating actual ice cream, but when you have Dippin' Dots, you go, oh, not bad. But you don't go out of your way for it. That's lacrosse. When you watch a lacrosse game or get caught in a lacrosse game, it's like, oh, not bad. But I'm still going to get an ice cream. You know what I mean? Still getting football. Still going to probably be watching other sports.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, just like I did with Dippin' Dots, who was calling themselves the ice cream of the future. Lacrosse was the sport of the future.
Yes.
So I think they're the same company.
Okay, really tied it together. Thank you for explaining that.
No problem.
I get it.
This-
Dippin' Dots are great, by the way. Dippin' Dots are really good.
Unbelievable. Cookies and cream. Oh.
The fruit, like the fruit medley one they have, that's like multicolored. That's really good.
I used to have it down at Kennywood. I fucking anytime got a chance to get the cookies and cream,
Had to.
Dippin' Dots. There was a line.
The beach water park. That's where I'd get them. Only place I'd ever get them.
Dude,
Flags.
Potato Patch down there at Kennywood. You get the best fries on earth with
Ever.
cheese. And then you go ahead and scoot over to Old Kennywood, and on the way, Dippin' Dots is right there and walk in. Yeah, I'll pay you, I guess, $27. My parents will go even more broke for this fucking ice cream of the future, but it's good. You know what I mean? They got you. Pickleball is the real deal. Sport of the future, I think.
Yeah, big fan.
Because the people that are interested in it have a lot of say.
Yeah, heavy hitters.
Like with networks and stuff. So I think it's going to be, you know what I mean?
It's got to make it good. It's got to be good to watch. Like sometimes the high level stuff isn't as fun to watch because they just dink and dunk all day and they're real skilled.
Oh, so you're bored with watching the pickleball highlights? It
No, I've
sounds
watched
like.
some of it. I'm saying you need to find a way to watch it where you don't have any personal connection. Like I always think about that. Would I watch this if I didn't know anyone personally in this match or in this thing, and that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Are you saying the pros are too good?
Yeah, kind of, because they sit there in front of the kitchen, just dink, doom, doom, and it's like they don't make any mistakes.
It's a finesse game.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, Phil dive 62 times in a game and roll, and it's fun to do that.
It was unbelievable watching Phil Main's CFO Phil play, because I don't think he won a game, right?
He won one.
They won one.
He did.
Oh, they did. But every point was game point. Phil.
Grinder.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, he was diving in rocks at one point to make plays. It was phenomenal. It was good to see, actually.
It was incredible.
That was young. That's what CFO Phil was like back in the day. Just dog. That's what he was. Hockey, football, everything he put, baseball, everything he played, he was like that. So then when that pickleball action got going, and I see this dude flat backing on like cement, I'm like, here we go. And then rolling up onto his feet, I'm like, here we go.
Good place.
Darius was like, Phil, all over the top 5. Not a single win, but all over the top 5. We're talking diving.
That's why I wanted to play with him, because I knew he'd go all out, and I could just sit pretty.
Max effort. You play pickup basketball. You running? You ask the other person. Phil was always running.
Probably smacking the ground, playing tight D.
Hell yeah.
Coming off screens.
Taking charges.
Need those guys.
Boxing people out, moving them 12 feet backwards, boxing you out.
Yeah, they're doing triathlons, those people.
Bingo.
And that's actually what Phil is doing.
Yeah, Spartan race.
Yeah, not all of us have that. Not all of us have that. Some of us are, we're going 3-point line? Yeah. Fucking awesome. Don't even have to act like I'm going in the paint. Like that. These ankles will thank you as well. Just like we'll thank everybody for watching us all season. We'll be back, not next Monday, the following Monday. AJ.
And today is Tuesday, so yes.
Yeah, so long break. This is the longest we've taken?
Yes. By a lot.
We're losing it. That's what I thought.
No, I guess Tahoe last year.
Tahoe.
Yeah, that was a little bit. I don't know. Who knows?
Bruce just asked me a question in my ear. He has access to that. And somebody just took a big swallow out of something.
Who was that?
I don't know who that was. That
Forgot I got this thing on still.
That thing came. That thing was out of the.
Whoa.
I felt like I was in his throat.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. When's the Ohio State cruise, AJ?
Right when we get back. Time's up really good for us.
So you're going to be off that week?
Yeah, I think we leave Monday morning.
Oh, no.
We're only going to half of it. We're not going to the whole thing.
How many days?
4, I believe. We come back on the fourth day.
All right. We'll figure it out. We should have managed
I wish
that
it
better.
timed up. I wish it timed up with it, but it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're raising money.
Of course.
You're out on a boat. You're with a bunch of Ohio fucks. You got to do what you got to do.
Is Urban going to be there?
Is Urban Meyer there?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Tell him we said hello,
Okay. I'll make sure I do if I run into him.
Tell him I said hello. Never talk to him.
He'll appreciate that.
I don't think so. I'll be excited to see his reaction, though. If you could read his reaction to, how we're just talking about cards, read his reaction whenever you say that I say hello.
Yeah, film it.
Because we'd hurt. Don't need to do
definitely
that.
film it. Definitely film it.
Don't need to film
Hey,
it.
Coach, what's up? Holding my phone. That's usually
right
that's
in
the thing
his
I like to
face.
do.
Was there any awkward moments at Radio Row? I don't think so.
Nope, none. Just Drew Brees.
Oh,
They
Gary V, and Ty. When Gary V said, "I hear everything," and pointed at Ty.
Yeah, they dapped up after though,
and they hugged each other.
Yeah, so
that wasn't awkward.
And he's gonna buy the Jets soon. He already.
And when
has a
Connor
plan.
asked the question, Bob Parsons like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
did he
Bob
say?"
Parsons almost took my head off.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Vietnam vet going, "Is this the dumbest fucking guy?"
Yeah, he knew.
So your
But,
course has the waste management. Is this guy
I was
fucking
wondering the whole
serious?
time too, though.
Say?
I kept glancing down. I kept glancing down at the sheet. I'm like, I don't think that's the course that waste management is on. I'm gonna stay away from that one.
I wrote the stuff on the sheet, and I still have.
So just to follow up, I wasn't 100% sure either. Body language from him
Knew immediately.
immediately told
Oh
me.
yeah.
Now I was staying away from it the entire. If you heard
Yeah.
my entire conversation with him, because I wasn't 100% sure, staying away.
Yeah.
You said, "Fuck it." Somebody needs to ask this question.
Yeah, well, we were 50 minutes in to a conversation with a guy I didn't know. It was either how many people you kill in Vietnam or that. So I went with the second one.
We're a Radio Row.
Exactly.
Can't be
Either
asking.
one. Either
Can't
one
be asking the
works.
first one.
Hey, what's your body count, man?
Yeah, bingo. That's why I went with waste management.
Hey, he was awesome.
Great guy.
He's the man. He was great.
He was. What do you do? Ayahuasca?
Then
Mushrooms?
then
Day off green. He was putting on the
And then
greens. The
LSD.
grass was telling him where to putt it.
Yeah.
And then he did LSD.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And he said what? He got back from Vietnam and whatever, and it took him 38 years or 48?
48.
48.
48 years to come back.
Come home.
And he thanks
That's
the
crazy.
How to Change Your Mind guy.
Yeah. It's
Do
amazing.
you think he can get us whenever you remember he said on day 3 when he was putting and the grass was talking to him and like telling the ball to go in? Can we get some of that for Tahoe this year? Maybe
so
for
what
3 straight days?
Is that vape you're talking about?
The DMT?
The DMT thing? No, I don't know what did he do he said like LSD was day 2, I think.
No, LSD was day 4. Ayahuasca, I think, was day 1. Mushrooms was day 2. So I think it was maybe an ayahuasca mushrooms concoction.
Take that.
But he was off
practice
of it,
round
though, like-
Thursday.
It was there you go and see how it
It
goes.
was mushroom tea, wasn't it? Was that day 3?
Drink the whole pot.
No, it was
Day 3, he was off.
Off.
Day 2, it was mushrooms,
Uh-huh.
I think. I was fascinated by it because it was like down to a science. Like, all right, night 1, you're going to puke your brains out and trip your balls off.
Yep.
Then we're going to do mushroom tea. It's not going to taste good at all, but that's going to get you to kind of open your mind a little bit more from the ayahuasca. Then we're not just going to kill day off. Go do what you love. Well, I'm going to go golf. Good. Go golf. Probably have the best round you ever had. And then we're going to close it up with fucking LSD at the end. It's like, what a...
Pretty sweet.
There was a science, obviously. There was a formula. Hey, this is what we're going to do. And it worked for him. I could imagine it helps for a lot more people. I think he's donating money, right, to try to get that into, like, actual protocol, I think. He's, like, trying to change...
Yeah. There's a lot of studies like that trying to help vets and people with PTSD come. Like MDMA is big for that.
I respect the hell out of anybody that's a self-made billionaire and that isn't scared to try something to get better as a human, which is what that was a big leap, I assume, for him.
Sure.
To go and do that.
Each generation with those things as well.
And then try to help. Yeah. Shout out to him for stopping
You also
by.
said best interview in 10 years.
Whoa.
That was awesome. Thank you to him for giving us the conversation. A lot of good convos on this show. We'll continue to try to do that during the offseason. I think we're pitched fucking Jason Statham.
Yeah.
What?
So I have no idea what this offseason is going to look like, but that was
Yes.
pitched. Like, that's going to happen. We'll talk about sports, obviously, that we are a sports show. We are a mental vacation for people. But I think with where our show is now, as opposed to where we maybe once were, there's a chance we're going to get some hilarious guests this offseason. So I think everybody during this time off should get pretty pumped up about what this offseason will be like. I was hating it for a while. Week 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 playoffs. I was waking up in the morning, going into the shower, thinking to myself, we are only a couple months away from having to talk about bullshit, okay? Which is what the offseason is filled of with sport. But now as we're getting into it, and obviously you have to have the mindset like it's going to happen, so let's do it. Like naturally I'm going to have to do that. I've gotten really excited about what these next couple months are going to look like for our program. Not only the growth of pickleball and what content's going to come from that and what we're going to be able to do here, but the people that are being pitched to come on the program, AJ. Remember in the past you've said people should want to come on this show, and I'm like, that is not how this is at all or has been. It is kind of like that now. So I think we're going to have some fucking epic convos, very stupid, and I think we'll be a good mental vacation whenever we get back from our vacation. I'm very excited, very thankful. You all kicked ass this year. To the boys that aren't here and already had pre-planned, not their fault at all trips, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Gumpy in Canada, hell of a fucking season, pal.
Gumps.
You've cut. We've missed the hell out of you. Can't wait to get you back into the States whenever the hell that takes place. To everybody that has helped us, including Casey with our TikTok, who I never really chat about or have met in person yet, thank you all so, so much. Our significant others, thank you all so much. To the people that watch, thank you all so much. We're going on break. We'll see you on the other side with better tans, and I'll probably weigh 20 to 30 pounds more. You all are the greatest humans on earth. I hope you remind yourselves of that, and I hope you tell other people that. We have no clue what tomorrow will bring, literally, figuratively. There's potentially UFOs flying in the sky. Let's try to enjoy every fucking day, and we'll see you not next Monday, but the Monday after that. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you then. Goodbye.